So E-Arena doing a good job, back it up. Just hey, take our time. We can't afford to get knocked here. This is
It's the exact opposite.
nice knock there. Here we go. It's Godlike versus S2G. Good nade in that direction. Ooh, doesn't hit the mark just yet. And meanwhile, yeah, look at that smile from Young Galactico, just hiding for his life here.
He's just sat inside that smoke. Oh, the vehicle so close to finding him as they're looking to bonnet him. S-Power's on the move. Takes a bullet to the back of the head. The SMG delivers. Goodbye, Godlike, as S2G win out on that one.
Huge play on the side of S2G right there. Right on time, too. You take out Godlike, who have now moved into second place. You got to get these reses though, and the blue zone is closing. They're gonna go ahead and pick him up, get him into that vehicle.
Smile make a move. The solo here from Yangon.
And Razy somehow survived that. The trap, it was sprung, and he was able to get out with the cheese. He got out with the cheese, unscathed.
Ludicrous scenes, quick wrap around. Ooh, can't make it back in. That is going to be the deny out then. No chance to re-peek into the zone. Points denied, Yangon removed.
What is this leaderboards? What is this leaderboards, my man? What's going on here? So we got 4 from the top 5, 2 from the bottom 3, and only 1 in the mid pack. Does it need to be said here? Does it need to be said here, folks? This is insane.
Feeling pretty defined. Feels like it's all just inevitable with how it's been going. ETSH, realistically the only one towards the bottom side with anything to be earned from this. Dopeness only down to a duo. And the last man of Aura in Sleepy, tucked in behind the tree. Yunbin not far away either.
And honestly, he's doing enough, right? If you're Aura, you're just trying to put up, 4 or 5 points a game, that could be enough to just put yourselves into those finals. Considering that, yeah, I mean, all the mid-pack teams aren't going to have that 20-point pop-off game that they needed. There's only, I think, 1 that stands a chance. And it's going to be tough, considering that almost all the lobby, the top of the lobby is still here. Look at this, Youngshim Red Force with 1. They're doing exactly what they need to. Now it's ETSH, the team that needs to get themselves out of the bottom. Now just getting destroyed on the side by E-Arena, the Thai squad, deleting them out of there. Nice push, though. They did get some good, solid eliminations, but they're going to still need to do a whole lot more if we want to see them in that survival stage.
Yeah, I had to squeeze extra from this one. That's why you were saying good isn't enough anymore. For them, it's not going to bail them out. Dopeness, though. The dope duo looking to clash versus Ida. First one falls. E-Arena even trying to siphon points off the back of that, and they do so successfully, taking down Dopeness. Hyunbin falls. Razy loses his footing on the rocks.
MG3, so good, but you know what? Its weakness is when you're getting shot in the back. Unfortunate there for Racy. Again, Team Vitality just flexing at this point. They still have 2 players up. Nongshan Red Force get that thirst. And, you know, all the teams at top are doing exactly what they need to do. Hey, just survive, put some decent points on the board, and it's a lock. Considering that there's only 5 teams remaining, all these teams are going to be getting some good, solid placement points. The real eyes on and storyline left is IDA. Like, if you're IDA right now, the best thing that could happen is you take out this entire lobby, here and now.
Just have a monstrous game from it. Give it your absolute all. It's not going to get any easier, though. Weird timeline where Sleepy could probably sneak into the zone unnoticed as well, because Nonshin cleared this whole area, so they might not expect anyone to be there. They didn't find him tucked in behind the tree, so he's looking to just steal points if he can.
Woo. Schweppes practicing his TIG welding right there, making sure that he goes and he's walking that cup, fixing that vehicle, getting it loaded up for the rest of the match. I wonder if IDA has that IQ to understand if they were doing enough elimination feed tracking to have a good idea of who's left in this lobby. It's quite difficult with everything that's going on. But if they have a good, solid idea of who's left, then they need to realize that they got to amp this aggression up. Like, why not? If you're IDA, you need to wipe this entire lobby out if you have a chance at getting top 5, because if you don't, and we see 4th and 5th place get chicken dinners, like, top 5's gone. So let's see what they decide to do here. I understand why they're playing it very pensively. They want to make sure that they get to that end game, but you got to ramp up the aggression.
Sleepy spotted in the end. He's hoping he could worm his way back into the zone, but not this time. Nonshin Red Force. 20K there in the back of the vehicle. Limited cover as well, Jukes. And Nonshin, such an open angle to just take pot shots.
Oh man, this circle not too kind, as there's a lot of open field in that center. Everyone's gonna have to play the edge. I would like to see IDA go push up into these buildings though and challenge Team Vitality. They need to, honestly. They have to clear the south side out pretty quickly. And you can see them in the vehicles, in the buggies, just getting some more information for now. Rita, though, is just moving up ever so closely. He could hear those steps. He knows they're in that building.
Audio cue giving the game away somewhat. Rita with the nades as well, pinpooled on it. If he gets a chance to arc it in, find a knock, then they could collapse, but they are starting to fragment over as well. Darkin advanced towards the zone, looking to get set up near the cover they found. 2 players make it in. Darkin with a knock over to Hyunbin as well. Fires back up onto this ridge and does some damage onto Nonshin. Vitality re-aggress. Emre holding. Rito with the assist. The shotgun slays back over onto Federales. Emre will pick off Axel, and Vitality crumble to Ida. They're starting to cook, Jukes.
This is a perfect scenario for them, right? They got 2 players already taking a position in this next zone. They were able to clear out Team Vitality, and now they're getting towards that end game. It's still going to be quite difficult considering that you got E-Arena up on top with the circle priority. And most likely, we're going to see IDA fight Nongshim Red Force. So if that does happen, never mind. IDA, they understand. They need to win this game. Push up into E-Arena, challenge them, try to take them out as fast as possible, and then have to deal with Nongshim Red Force later.
So many smokes being arced here, setting themselves up for it, trying to create some semblance of cover to protect them from Nongshim, block off the line of sight, and then take the fight over. Deep nade in as well. Nongshim aren't sleeping either. They're thinking about just taking the hit to him. It could be a three-way battle for the finish instantly. Tizzy so low.
Oh, Schweppes got so much damage onto him. But now we're going to see IDA throw some good nades onto Nongshim Red Force. That's 2 knocks for them. This is the best case scenario. They need to wipe out this entire lobby if they want a chance. Here they go, and they are starting to do it little by little. But now E-Arena have woken up. Now they're starting to put in some work.
So much damage. So little time to try and fix the issues you've suffered from that encounter, and E-Arena know that the knee is weak. Seeing if they can make him buckle with Schweppes. Clearing through. Good shots on target brings us down to just a duo on either side. Mormon with utility as well. He's only got that one Molotov left in the back pocket. 100 rounds of ammo on the AUG as he shoots up. Emre sneaking in.
That would hurt. Unfortunately, that was his second to last name. Ooh, that molly. Mighty close. And Mormon gets the knock. Single player up left. It's Schweppes and Mormon versus the final player from IDA.
Darkin. Can he somehow find a way to follow through and win this 1v2? Peek up. Oh, it's good.
That's huge.
Schweppes falls. They've got the revive off in the meantime. Mormon primes the nade. Tiny K tucks in behind the wall. Nade misses. Darkin peeks. That's on target.
Headshot.
Good shot. Follow-up there.
Oh.
HG takes him away as Tiny K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's IDA getting it done in the 1v3!
Played it to perfection, Jukes.
Woo! Let's go!
They go for the res, he gets the engage off, wins the 1v1, isolates it with a nade, finishes him off, up close, sweating bullets with the shotgun, shuts it down and gets the dinner.
DBS behind the tree, using that shotgun whip technology, saying, you know what, I'm gonna shoot that shot before you can even see me, and goodbye. I mean, this was perfect case scenario, literally. This is what they needed to do if they want a shot at the finals, and they did it the hardest way possible. That was not easy. Look at the shot. Ooh. Bye-bye.
The quick taps on it. Fast fingers. And brilliant decision-making with how he approached it in what was a chaotic moment. Milliseconds of decision-making.
Sometimes you just gotta clutch it up. You know, you just gotta make a play if you want to keep your team in this tournament. And it's plays like that that are momentum shifters, right? It's one of those plays so big, so massive, that it gets your team so dang hyped that you just become an unstoppable force for it, right? So they got it in that game, and yeah, you can see that. You want to gain some faith in your squad? You want your team to believe in you? That is how you do it, and that is a kiss well-deserved.
There was no buckshot in that shotgun, Jukes. It was all slugs. He just uppercutted the whole lobby.
Made a play. That was one of the plays of the tournament so far. I mean, 1v3 to win the game, and if this squad makes it into the finals, that was it right there, guys. That is the play that made that possible.
From feeling like it was becoming an impossibility to really just dialing in and immediately, like you say, locking in, knowing the game plan, understanding we have to fight. And they were so proactive that entire time.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, guys, right, is you're in a situation where your back's against the wall and you can just look at it and be like, hey, you know what, whatever happens, happens. We're just going to play it out as is. No, like, this is what I love about this year in particular. We're seeing teams, coaches understand just doing whatever happens isn't going to work. You got to do something different. You got to adapt.
You do indeed. And we got to get down to the stage with Kalaris to hear from Godlike.
That's right, thank you very much, boys. Here I'm with S-Power once again to talk about that first victory, as well as what was going on in Erangel, but I want to focus on Rondo to start things off. Obviously, you guys had great eliminations to start things off over in Neox, and then from the north side of that circle, you looked very controlled, and then when SUG wrapped around, you looked super controlled against them as well. What was the game like from your perspective?
Our perspective was very simple and clear. We'll just play our natural game. We'll play in slow. Basically, we'll play in slow motion. We'll just go with the flow, and we'll try to clear our back as much as we can. And we did it very well. We executed the things very properly. So that's why we could secure the champion. Second dinner, sorry.
Looked fantastic, really did. That's a great start for you guys. If you continue that on, you're basically going to be qualified for the final, so it's looking really good right now. Game 2, of course, wide wrap on towards Stalba or on that east side, but then getting stuck on Stalba can be a little bit difficult there, and it kind of felt like that was the case for you guys. What was it like here from the team as a whole?
We did choke there because we planned something, but we didn't execute that in a proper way. That's what costed us the game, but hopefully we are looking forward to the next matches, and hopefully we'll do better comparatively. Yep.
It's looking good for Godlike. Thank you very much for joining me here, S-Power, once again. That is S-Power here, down on the stage, looking awesome here on Day 2 of Group B.
주나요? 이용해. 차벽 이용해, 호버. 야, 공 왔다.
얘들아 왼쪽 보고 많아.
형, 앞에 나무 기절? 나무, 중간 나무. 나무 라스. 해단대. 나이스!
Ben yine tepe çıkabilirim muhtemelen.
Oğlum sen Rita gelen olmayacak dedin de şey gelmesin oğlum EA.
Kim?
Gelmez
oğlum, iyi ne işi var? Samat olacak bunlar. Ya beni almanız lazım ya yalnız. Derken sen alırsın beni, tamam mı?
Alırım da başından enforce'u çekiyorum. Yok kaçmışlar bunlar ya direkt.
Beni falan yok mu ya? 6x. Nice. Mati orang. Masih ada Ren? Itu bisa dapat 60 gua. Enggak ada 60. Udah, enggak usah. Di berapa ya? Enes ya? Guys. Bagian rata 15 Enes. Berapa? Mati 2. Orang mati berapa ya orang? Tadi gua bunuh 1. Mati 2. Oke. Di jamur ada yang mayat di jamur. Iya.
Mana Enes? Bang teman weh cinta nih su. Ma. Song isu. Bangku.เอารถมัวไปรับให้ต้องรับรถจะระเบิดตายมาโอเคตายมาผมอยู่นะถ้าเตอร์รอมา
Loving the radio comms and the translation as well, but I'm also loving the PMWC Lucky Spin, which is available now in PUBG Mobile. Co-created with PDP creator Nana, the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, the stunning Alien Fusion grows. I'll log into PUBG Mobile and take your spin before it's gone, like Max has done. I have tried it as well. I'm gonna try it again today because that Groza looks sick.
It is amazing, and it's also glowing. It doesn't look like it right now in the picture, but it does actually glow quite a bit. So it's got some animation. It's themed around PMWC. It's only W's for the skins right now.
And one team that was glowing in that last match was none other than Ida, because Ida, my goodness, this is a squad that also needs to make sure they stay within that range of getting to the top 5, and they were able to do just that, Neptura.
They were indeed really looking forward to what they have coming in off the back of that big win, because yeah, they did play that very well. I want to point out specifically their smokes coming on in there. We were talking about this again, you know, analysts, we chat in the backstage area, but it was really nice to see them use those smokes against EA when they made that push onto Nongshim. It was a really good performance there to just make sure. And yeah, you're seeing the day 1 versus day 2, night and day. I mean, I think we saw that in game, we could see it very clearly, but night and day on those stats as well, looking very good for them.
I mean, I love this because I love having a look at their average of eliminations and being able to capitalize on that. And I want to give them a get them whatever food they want, buy them whatever skin they want in PUBG Mobile, because it's insanity that E-Arena lost that with that much health and utility. Obviously, no popping on the zigzag, but was not prepared for that shotgun at the end. And you know what? Having teams that, you know, are creeping their way up from the bottom into these positions, they're locked in.
Yep.
And if you think you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're safe, it's not always the case.
It's definitely not always the case. Between Circle for us, we're looking at the match ranking here. Teams 9 through 13 were eliminated, Max, which leaves a huge opening for those squads towards the bottom and also for those teams towards the top to just kind of expand that lead.
I mean, yeah, because it's so close towards the teams in the middle and especially the bottom of the pack, as you just said here, Seven. And because of that, I was expecting Tiamba to just kind of level up their aggression, which they actually did at the very start. They did go for a crash on, I believe it was 721 GS team. I'm like, yeah, this is great. but not on Circle 1 to Circle 2. You know, it's a little bit too early to go for a full commit fight and get instantly eliminated because you're not getting any eliminations, and especially not getting any placement points. So Tiamba, I like the change of mindset, but it's just not at the right time. They need to do the fights when it makes the most sense in these games.
Yeah, I mean, 721 sort of took them down, and that creates like that chain effect at the bottom three, Max, you know?
Yes.
Giving a little bit of hope to none other than dopeness. They overtook them, put themselves in a good position, got on that north side, didn't scout Nongshim, and, you know, just leaving Kenji and Spigot to sponge some placement. But look, this is how crazy it gets at the lower of the leaderboard.
Was look at the top damage dealers here. I was just speechless by what Ida was able to do there at the end, that solo player. He was even celebrated with the kiss on the forehead, just saying, good job, please keep that up. We really need that, because if not, then we're not going to be able to make it to top 5 or even get close. But right now, that squad, with this kind of performances, at least they're putting themselves in that it doesn't really matter area, because they might end up going to survival, which might leave them open to just do whatever the heck they want.
Well, that's exactly how you want to be playing, right? You want to make sure you are comfortable, ready to go, and ready to get into the next game without too much of an, oh my god, we gotta win this game if we want to succeed. But yeah, really, really good stuff coming in from there. Also, shout out to EA in that final play. I do want to say EA actually doing a really, really good job, and I think if it hadn't been for the Ida player, you know, flicking in to get that win, they were isolating Ida really well. They were moving around and trying to control as much of the zone as possible. So shout out to them. It's still a really good game from them. So again, going into the next Erangel, want to see more from them.
Yeah, Arena. Shout out to you, E-Arena, right up until the end when you got absolutely smoked by one player with very low HP. One team that has been actually very consistent today, Max, for the first 2 games, which has been a big difference from what we saw yesterday in day 1 for Group E, is none other than Nongshim.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to ask me about Nongshim Red Force. I love the way they play because they're not an aggressive team early game, mid game, right? They're just trying to get a focus on their position. And especially if you look at this circle finish, western side of Stolber, very northern side. Where do Nongshim Red Force drop? Down in farm split. They go for wide rotation all around the eastern side of Stolber Mountain, get a great entry point, have a 4-man split, just scouting very passively, just getting some information, seeing where all the players are hiding in those bushes. And at the end, when the teams are at their weakest, they're involved in a fight, they have to rock up, they take the high gun position and get a ton of eliminations. Sure, it's not a win, but Nongshim Red Force, the macro decision making is just next level.
Honestly, come over here, Max. That was just... Oh, no!
Off camera! He gave me a little
As we're looking at the overall ranking for Team Vitality, I mean, they're going to stay up there too. Godlike still performing well. Just let's keep an eye on that gap between Godlike and Ida Esports, because it is currently at 12 points. S2G has been able to perform well. They ended up on a 1v1 with GodL.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm on the fence for S2G, honestly, here, Seven.
Same.
Why?
Because they are performing better. Are they performing well? I don't really think so. At least not in that game. I think they were way too slow on that third party. I think they took forever. Once the third party was done, then they took forever to actually push Godlike as well, just giving them so much time to defend.
I mean, especially they only have 12 placement points over the course of what is now 8 games. That's a very low placement point, and the survival time must be abysmal. S2G, you need to get into those late games.
And for this team towards the bottom right now, Lace, I want you to get into your best coaching mentality. How are you going to hype up these teams like Tiamba, ETSH Esports, and Hustler Crew?
I will personally head over to Hot Jukes. I will reach down and grab his left shoe and probably not do much with it because, you know, I might get a complaint. But look, these teams, especially Esh, coming out of that, they had a great position on the high north side. They had about 5 vehicle cover, 7 eliminations, moving on into that zone. And what did they do? EA Arena, they knew that they were there. It's not like they was just kind of did a nice flank onto them, but they're struggling with these positions into late game. If they were to have just defended EA Arena from behind, it would have been a different story for them. But the passiveness when it comes just specifically to late games from Team Esh is sad.
Yeah, it is sad for them. And for Hustler Crew, honestly, Kalaris, they might need a new pep talk, man.
Yeah, that's going to cost you the big bucks here for PMWC. But I think in Group B, the big bucks has done all the talking. You've got 4 of the 5 at the very top that I think have been the big fish, the big kahunas. They've made some amazing plays happen each and every time. They've looked very flashy, but one that's been ultra consistent without looking too flashy, I think, has been Horror Esports.
Just swimming along in that pond. They're a big fish at the moment. It is Horror. They're doing fantastically well. Again, so far they've had 2 bad games, like a 15th and a 16th, where it's not gone well. But we caveat with the fact that if they don't have a bad game like that, it's a top 5 at minimum. They've had multiple thirds, multiple seconds. They've had a strong win yesterday on Erangel. They're just a consistent team. But when we look at this, it's nice because that's very promising going into the finals.
No, definitely, definitely. Especially since someone like Sky, right, is still currently in that running for a potential MVP spot of this group, I would say in particular.
Beast.
Maybe you can kind of carry that forward into like a final if it does occur. And that said, I feel like the top 5 as a whole, there's a little bit of separation already gathering from the bubble teams just below them. So Horror currently is kind of that boundary. I think that they can stay stalwart in what they've been able to do so far. Good splits and being able to take central positions. And they do control space very well. It's just that actually the very top of this lobby looks so flashy. When those stack levels come in, it's difficult to kind of go up against that.
Like when we were memeing earlier on in the day with Vitality, they had a really greedy 4-man split.
Yeah, they did.
And then we had Irina with their 39-point game. But it just, by contrast, Horror's just chugging along. And I don't think we'll see 39 Elim games. We won't see 4-man splits going to the finals. That's the winning strategy right there.
All right, well, thank you very much, Blank. It is time now to send it over to some of the big boys. Once again, on the caster desk, it's more games here at PMWC.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Blank. Very exciting seeing everyone start to set things up with how it's going here, Dukes. The day, of course, already raging on. 2 of our battlegrounds played out and another spectacular one just on the horizon off the back of what was a monumental clutch. I'm hoping everyone tries to raise the bar of their own individual level to match that.
They're going to need to, that's for sure, right? I mean, IDA did exactly what needed to happen to put them in the running, right, for top 5. They're still not there yet. I mean, there's still more to do, but you know what? Hopefully they can do it in style, and you guys can do it in style with that new Yangon Galacticos Champion Ancient Charm set. See if you can get that thing in game. I saw the players wearing it the other day, and I was like, I want some of that, right? I need some of that in a couple XL.
Oh yeah, man. If we can get 2 of those up here.
And I mean American couple XL, right? You know, because otherwise there's like 5 or 6, you know.
Don't worry, we'll get you a tight one that fits nice. We'll get you looking fresh.
Fitted, baby. Straight fitted. And I'll tell you what, IDA are looking fitted to put themselves into that top 5. We'll see if that can happen. The rest of these teams in these lobbies need to go absolutely insane. There's only 4 matches left here.
Yeah, dude, it's gone by so quick today, especially, right? It feels like we've just whizzed through these games. Well, whizzed, probably rather than rizzed. Some of the players have been risen.
Oh, yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're looking good, man, as here we go into the second Erangel match here for Group B. Let's see if the zone's going to be finally kind here in this game, right? I think we need at least 1 normal Erangel circle when it comes to this group.
Is that what you want?
Just 1.
All right, watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you just wait. When you see the zone, you're going to be blown away.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now.
You had the crystal ball when it came to GOAT, right, before. Let's see if Jackie's got it locked in now. If this thing goes to Zark, I'm going bananas.
Just wait, man. The anticipation's all going to be worth it. Trust me, Dukes. It's going to be the most revolutionary zone you've ever seen.
Okay. All right, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I know a lot of these teams are ready for it here. As I'm looking at that top 5, now that cutoff being 73 points. That is a huge jump down to 7th place. What is that, 24-point difference? That is a chicken dinner minimum just to catch up. And that's if these teams do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking mighty solidified here. But we've seen crazier things happen, that's for sure. As we're going to see Vitality, out towards military base early, as always.
The classic sets up from a fair few of our squads, because the playing path at least has been favorable for them. What about that zone, though? All right. Could have been way worse.
That's still gross, though.
It could have been way worse,
Yeah.
though. That's what I'm saying. But what we're working with here, like 45% water, like 35.
It's still a nasty circle. I mean, this is really like one of the worst spots because of the fact that you have to make that bet, right? Like you go to the mainland, you go down to military base, you try to hold that that bridge just in case the zone goes in another direction. Vitality don't care. Like I said, they've done so much. They don't need points, so they can do whatever they want, you know? But for teams in the mid-pack, it's not good. It isn't, because this is not one of those circles that's like, oh, I got zone blessed and now I'm going to get 30-point game.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to try to make it to endgame here.
You're gambling on it of just like, okay, do we stay there? Do we go back to the mainland? Which one do we pick? We're just going to get stuck on a bridge again?
Ugh. I wouldn't even know if I would want a bridge fight. What do you do here? I'm really trying to crunch my brain and think, I know what? I think the best strategy here is to go in game and get the brand new Naruto skin. I think that is what you're going to do first, right? Get that Nine Tails Furies, Og, and that way I'll look good, right? And once I'm going and get that skin, then really think, what do I do in this game? As we're going to see Ida get that loot truck from Infachiki. Loot trucks really have changed the game here, the whole meta. They've really allowed a lot of these spots that used to be a little bit rougher when it came to loot now be absolutely stacked. Because I'm thinking, if the coaches had to tell these teams, Jackie, you have to win the game.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the finals, it's win the game. Otherwise, just good luck, right? So what do we do here in this scenario? What position, if you were a team, where would you put your squad in to try and get that 20-point game? You go in mainland, you go in military, you taking bridge? What are you thinking?
I think Gambleware's probably a little bit safer right now to just set up mainland, like you say as well. Like the blessing of the loot trucks right here. If they get something good out of this, I'm sure we'll catch vision at some point of what they actually got, right? You get some high-tier loot straight away. You can just coast early game. Cut out a load of that like early looting time and actually fight a bit more with an advantage. I'm thinking it from the angle if they've just got to carry on from where they left off. Squads like that, so take that Ida mindset of trying to push your limits further, run some risk for it. You get some high tier loot, get in there, start scrapping, see if you can squeeze elims, bully some of the lobby. You know effectively at this point, like you're kind of middle of the pack, you're not really going to fall that far down. The bottom side's so low, slipping out of survival is going to be hard, so you might as well risk it.
You have to, and I think this is the game to risk it. You know, I think that at a certain point, I think here it's all risk, for sure. As we get into the Miramar matches, then it's like, all right, maybe we got to play a little conservative just to make sure we don't fall in the bottom three if you're that low. But here is one of those games where you gotta shoot for the moon, right? Try to get that top three finish. I think if you're gonna go down a spot, I think you go Ferry Pier, that Ferry Pier hill, right behind the gas station. If you take that spot there, it gives you a lot of control of the zone. You can hopefully maybe even catch some third parties. And it looks like Ida, of all teams, is going to take that spot. So they're saying, you know what? We're one of the squads that definitely could make it in top five. And I mean, by one, I mean the only one, right? They're the only one really in the run for top five here due to that last game. And they're going to control this hill, which I think is an excellent spot in the zone.
And it works out pretty cerebrally for them as well, right? Because obviously you come in, like you say, get that loot truck, arm yourself a bit earlier, they get to cut out some of the additional time they'd have to waste, sort of slowly slogging along, getting themselves better firepower and ammunition to work with. If they run into another squad, maybe they do just take that encounter head on. It's a good call. It was a great last game, and you could see they were all fired up in celebration as well. Big stage like this, Duke, sometimes the paranoia gets to you.
Yeah, it does.
But they certainly rise to the occasion, man.
They have rise to the occasion, and they did it in just such insane fashion. A crazy 1v3 to end things up, to get the chicken dinner, the dub, and put them in the running here. It's so insane. I mean, job's not done yet. I mean, Godlike have been playing phenomenally today. That's going to be a hard one to catch. And we heard it there from the desk, right? Out of all the teams in the top five, they were talking about Hora, just being like, yeah, I mean, they are consistent. They're up there, but out of all the teams, I think they're the ones that's the most shaky right now, at least when it comes to trying to let Ida catch up to them. So I think if you are Aura, if you're any of the teams in top five, you obviously want to shut that conversation down right here. But with a circle like this, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
The team that was towards the bottom side coming into the start of the day was 721 GS, but they've rose massively, fighting hearty into these games and still being able to squeeze out a decent number of elims to rise up the ranks. Fair few points between them and slipping back into the bottom. Obviously the surprising factor there, Tianba. Didn't think that's where we'd be seeing them, Jukes.
Oh my gosh, I can't. that's like, for me, the most frustrating thing in this lobby is seeing Tianba in. I mean, I don't even want to say it. I mean, they are in bottom 3 right now. I mean, I don't want to believe it, you know, and in if this was any other year, I'd be like, nah, I'm not worried, you know, like it's Tianba, they're for sure not going to be blah, 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 you know, but what has happened with Alpha 7, you know, is making me very scared, you know, because there wasn't a world, I would have put the whole house on saying that Alpha 7 were for sure making a final in 2 international events, and they haven't done that yet. So, yeah, Tianba, please get it together, please.
Yeah, we need to see some sort of change. Again, that'd be a prime example of a squad that probably could, if they lock in right here, right now, game like this, right, run the risk. It's not looking great as it is anyway. If you can completely flip that around with a big result, get some points in, bro. The other teams drop down below you. We know they've got the firepower for it, Jukes. It's just gone quiet.
Silly quiet. I mean, for them to even be close to bottom 3 is insane, and the fact that they're sitting there right now is wild. I mean, they're not that deep down. I mean, it's only 2 points away from dopeness and about 9 points away from 9th place. So it's not the scariest position to be in, but you know, you don't like to see it regardless. Next zone. Let's just see how toxic it's going to be. Are we going to get a crazy shit? Okay, yeah, it does go perfectly up to that mainland. So that bet from Ida, right? I mean, this is the perfect zone shift for them.
It's worked out brilliantly. Opening game plan so far, uncontested. Sped up a lot of their looting, found themselves a good position that's still very central as well. 72-1 GS once again. They've been a bit of a dark horse of being able to squeeze eliminations and bully some of the squads that are massively above them in the standings. And that little nip, make it harder, take out some of these players so that you can try and climb. That's helping not only them, but potentially a few of our other squads as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the teams you got to take out here, guys, right? I mean, at a certain point, I mean, I'm not going to say at a certain point. It's literally this point now. Like
right now.
The mid-teams need to hunt down the top squads. Like, you need to have... The coaches should be talking to these mid-pack teams, analyzing their drops. Now, I'm not necessarily saying hot drop, but have a good idea of where they move rotationally. Try to gatekeep them try to catch them out on a drive-in somewhere. You got to do something to slow them down, because just hoping that they don't perform is just not good enough. You got to make your own luck. You got to find a way to make something happen. Unfortunately for Tianba, they lose a player on rotate, so they're going to be stuck with 3 here in order to get into that end game. And now QZZ gets knocked out by Ida. This is worst case scenario for Tianba. They're going to hold the warehouse here, not the worst spot. It's one of those spots that you hard commit to. Are they not going to get this res? Oh, brutal. And that just shows the urgency from Ida, right? They're like, we need every single point we can get.
Yeah, that's absolutely hellish for them immediately as well, right? If we're saying these kind of games where, yeah, as much as it's not barren, bottom of the bottle, not feeling like you can completely get back into it, another game goes by, suddenly you're looking at 3 matches left. If they remain in this position with their squad already falling down to only 2, and especially if you're feeding those points to a rising squad like Ida, this can't be happening.
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks, guys, and I don't like it. I don't like remembering Alpha 7 being like, hey, all right, another bad game, another bad game, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, boom, they are knocked out. You could just see the look on the players' faces and just not looking too happy at all. Coaches from Young Galacticos are locked in right now. They're in 8th place, 47 points. And again, that is quite a few away from that mid-place position. So yeah, if you're Young Galacticos, you're in the blue zone now. Hunting down some of these squads might be beneficial because you need a ton of eliminations. Let's see if they can find them though, as Dopeness end up battling it out with Team Vitality. Razak throwing the Molotovs in there. Lupa on fire, and he's gonna burn, baby, burn. And that's Dopeness losing one of their players here.
Dopeness trying to clash back. Eyes on the Wizards tower. Razy goes up top to make sure they can hard flush onto Lufa. No recovery mission, but Nikita has other ideas in mind. Nearly gets up the stairs, but Razak's quick with it. And the buckshots dispatch them. Head on a swivel as well. Finds Ken G, one by one. Dopeness very quickly falling to the wayside. Nice pick up there, Jukes. They can save their mate as well. This is a bit surprising, though. S2G hard commit onto the Godlike crew, and they're gone.
Wow, what a huge finish for the side of S2G. This is their chance now. S2G's got to go for the win. Godlike getting shut out earlier is perfect for them because they are right there. 4th place, 5th. Not a crazy point gap going up from them. So 75 points is where they're staying. That's the goal to catch up to. Big opportunity. And you know Ida saw that. You know Aura saw that. You know Young Galactica saw that. So let's see what they could do in this game. And now with Dopeness getting eliminated earlier, Tianba are like, all right, hey, let's get a good game in here and get out of this bottom 3.
Yeah, exactly. You're not too far off. Couple points. It's only a duo there. That's the scary thing. Need to weaken them early. That task is way harder. Half as many players to rely on.
Now, yeah, you're just going to see these rotations come out. I mean, S2G need to find themselves a good solidified position, and they do, right? They have a good spot in this next circle, especially if the zone goes up north. Yeah, I think now it's time to play things a little bit slower, slow things down. You got to get to end game if you're S2G. Fights right here are way too dangerous because if you take a fight, you're getting third party, almost guaranteed. So slow it down a little bit and try to get this win because that's what you need. You need still a good amount of points here. And if you can get that win now, man, they'll be having a good solid chance in the last 3 matches.
Good to see everyone being a little bit more cutthroat with the application of how they're playing, right? It's kind of what we were saying. You got to try and run a few more risks, and taking down Godlike now presents that opportunity to rise. Let's see where the zone's going to go on it. Who will get a bit of a gift?
Dead center. Dead center here. So the S2G are still in play here. The duo from Tianba are now going to be in trouble because everyone's going to be crashing in this area. And you can see Vitality are driving right by. Everybody instantly moving on. S2G not happy with just taking that corner side. They want dead central, and they are pushing on up. Vitality now. Oh, boy. Here comes TT Project looking to punish them in the shack. Nice shots there from Niaz. And these are some desperation points on the side of TT Project. They need every single one of them.
Sitting inside the vehicles for Vitality is the only play they can make. They quickly heal themselves up and re-peek back through. Razak, star player for this squad that's been popping off in this very battleground. They're going to go for the quick pickup play, it seems. Federales runs in. Oh, the hovercraft just clipping the toes of Niaz as he gets crushed. And Razy finishes it off there. They can block some of this space as well. Hard commit to that recovery. Make sure they get back to 3 members, Jukes.
How are these guys alive?
I don't know.
This is insane. I mean, this was the worst case scenario for TT Project. Just Team Vitality said, all right, you know what? Yeah, you guys thought that we were just big chilling. No. If you're going to take us out, you got to do it quick. Now we're going to see Young Galacticos here just on the move little by little. Ida holding this compound, a strong position in this zone is exactly what they need to be doing. They got a couple eliminations early. You know, get yourselves a nice secure spot. Ensure that you get to that end game here. S2G would have 6 eliminations, which is a great start for them. They did lose 1 player, so they got to start playing very conservative here. they full committed to this position, dead center. They're like, you know what? We're going to hold the dead center wide out in the open. We're going to secure this shack, have all our vehicles blown up. So they really, really need to hope that the zone just keeps centering on up to their position.
That's the crew taking down Hyunbin there as they're able to detonate the vehicle. And you can see it's not looking too great health-wise for Nongshim Red Force. Chip damage onto one of them, 2 of the players knocked for now. That's a bit of a spread where you got Wolves nearby, Hustler crew in position. This is the fight that's currently going down. Ooh, nade inside from Slanik as Wolves get that one on target.
Let's go Wolves, man. Wolves need to do something here to keep the NA dreams, hopes alive. Wolves having one of the best substitute players on the planet in Juancho. Fortunately, we haven't seen him in the game, but he is here in the arena watching over his squad. And hopefully looking to extend their stay here just a little bit longer. 30 points, not nearly out of the danger zone yet. They need a good game to at least solidify them to that survival stage. But man, that survival stage is going to be jam-packed here. Tianba looking like they are going to might be going to it. Alpha 7 looking headed in that direction as well. As we look at the top players, of course, we see a whole bunch of team vitality. That makes sense.
It really does. Zone crunching in once again, though. Centering up. S2G, Hora. And of course, the remaining members of Tianba within the area for now. Surprised Ida from distance as well when we saw that fight with Wolves and Nongshim, but they were able to steal away 1 more point just off the back of the encounter. This is Yangon pushing up onto TT Project. Oh, they're trying to get away in the vehicle, but they're running into another team on the hillside. It goes both ways though. Damage done. Federales from distance helping Vitality put pressure onto these squads.
Young Galacticos, there's Say Cloud, all right, popping a couple shots there on the side of Vitality. I'm surprised he even shot that, considering that he's so far out of position in this circle. But now I was wondering, where is Alpha 7? When are they going to make some moves? There's Obscure getting a nice shot there onto E-Arena. That's huge for this lobby. E-Arena going out here shuts down one of those top players. And Tourniquet, though, last player up. Oh, devastating A7 here. Oh, and good for them, though. 7-2-1 gets that elimination. That's going to be a huge sigh of relief for the side of A7.
It's Wolves as well, making it so uncomfortable for Alpha 7 there. They thought they could take a fair fight, be able to just play a head-to-head with both squads. Doesn't work that way. Wolves keep the pressure on A7. 721 GS as well. Still stealing points here and there in these games. Darkin takes the shots up onto Fajita. You got the spam over. In the midst of all this, Vitality have finally finished what remained of TT Project. And the solo from Alpha 7 stuck in a horrific position.
Horrific is right. And the Wolves are holding the north side, wrapping all the way around to find a position in this next zone. Obscure just going to be eating a whole lot of blue damage. And this is stage 5. This one hurts. Alpha 7 just can't seem to catch a break here. Can't get anything going. And S2G, hard committing to that central spot, is working out so far. And that is, yeah, Obscure's just going to go out to blue. So that's A7. If they want to make it into the top 3, they need to win almost every single game going forward.
Impressed how good Wolves have been able to play as well with the really awkward fights they've had here. Handling themselves nicely against multiple squads. Sonic does finally fall. He was hitting some big shots. It could be a detriment to the remainder of the Wolves roster. Yangon. Brutal position, bro. They got the smokes, limited cover. Hovercraft still there.
Now we're going to see Ida. 4 players up. They took the most dominant position in this zone early, and it is working out for them. What's even working out for them more is the fact that Godlike's gone, right? Nongshim Red Force are hurt. E-Arena is out of here. Aura only have 2 players left, so and those are really the only top 5 that matter, right? So Oh man, that's going to be really huge for the side of S2G and Ida. It opens the door. It opens the door for them to make it into the finals, but you still got to walk through it. Team Vitality, meanwhile, are applying that pressure onto Young Galacticos. It's only Smile and Romeo up left, and they are going to be stuck trying to just snake this one out and make something happen.
Nade from Smile being cooked. A few shots over from Tiamba as well, it seems. Doesn't overcommit onto chucking that one, just going to belly crawl back through the weeds and see if he can get into a good spot here. Thread the needle with a nade, get it on top of Vitality. There's the boom. Not enough to connect onto Federales. Information going both ways as well. The hovercraft coming in from Romeo to close the gap. He dives out. Quick reposition from Federales.
Now we're going to see Tiamba get eliminated, so they weren't able to put up anything here. Federales looking to go ahead and make a play on a Romeo. Let's see what he can do. Does he have any? Doesn't need it! Jump headshot, baby! Through the window, through the wall. That is how you get it done.
Incredible Elim on that one. But whilst Federales is celebrating, Ida's eyes light up once again. They know their job is not done. Razak takes the heat back over to Ida and puts pressure on them. Razy incredibly low in the distance. They got to go for the pickup play on Rita. They have to tuck in now.
Man, Team Vitality, 13 points. Oh, this is tough considering that these are all points everybody else needs. So they are just making this lobby that much harder here, as that's now Nongshim Red Force eliminated. So pretty dud game for our top 5, excluding Team Vitality. Aura's still alive with 2, but they haven't done much at all. And with S2G getting 8, this is a good opportunity, right, for them to just continue to chug along and do a little good game of catch-up.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a bit of a sleeper journey for them today. I mean, 8 elims. Still looking like they've got a lot more to give as well. If Ida go down, that's going to be them next in line to really try and take benefit from the games they're having here. Ooh.
Ouch. Man, Team Vitality just crushing dreams non-stop here. They have the craziest day ever yesterday. And now they're just looking to crush the teams of these teams that are trying to desperately make it to the top 5. Rita, it's up to him to make it a play on Federales. Oh, saw a little pixel. Takes a little pop shot at it. And now, Federales does get knocked by 721 GS. It just leaves, I believe, Razak up left for Team Vitality.
Only one player left from Wolves now. Aura set up in the shack. There's the nade coming over. They do get the shots onto him and the nade misses, so they're fine to survive as a duo with Wolves being taken out of the running. Like you said, Vitality just down to Razak. It won't get any easier. S2G bringing the heat over to 721 GS as they'll scrap each other. So far away though, Jukes. It's not an easy gap to close. They've got to get a move on.
Yeah, now this is S2G's time. Like, honestly, S2G, you did a great job. You got to the end game. Now it's time to get aggressive. Move. You need all of these eliminations. Team Vitality is stealing all of them from you. You need all that you can get because Godlike is out. Aura, they're getting some points on the board as well. So if you're S2G, now's your time. Are you going to make it happen, though? Because Ida is still soaking up points here.
Vitality finally full. They can get back over there and resupply off of the crates that are inside of the building. 721 GS taking a lot of damage as well. This is just the cleanup. That's all S2G need from it.
Hey, shout out to 721 GS, though. Great day today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the bottom 3 looking down and out, but they put themselves at least in a running for the survival stage. Actually, they're looking pretty good for the survival stage here. Aleko gonna have to make a play for his team. Does get some sightlines on S2G, but Solke able to make it behind that hail bale and take them out.
And again, that's another point stolen by Ida as well with the shot we saw coming over from Darkin. One of those knocks goes his way, converted into a point. So still squeezing little bits out of this lobby as we remain with our final 3 squads. Hora down to the 2 players. Ooh, Sky's gonna buckle as well. Instant connection from Emre on the peak up. They're not slowing down, Dukes. They're just getting started.
Yeah, now Aura are out. That's the right play. Honestly, both of these teams were like, hey, Aura's that way? Yeah. Let's all focus there first, all right? And then we can deal about it later on, because we're the ones trying to get in the top 5. Aura are already there. And now a huge fight as HGG. He's got the AWM, baby. Let's see some of that late game sniper action. But what? Oh, Rita. Talk about, hey, we got barber shops here for these players, and Rita just got a haircut.
Short back and sides for Rita. Ridiculous, that one didn't connect.
Woo-wee.
The scope attached for max precision. Looking to punch a hole straight through them. As it comes down to 2 teams that are neck and neck towards each other. The rise we've seen from S2G. And an Ida that took that chicken dinner previously and have not slowed down. A slight advantage in terms of the battle of attrition, Dukes. It's a 4 versus 3 on the manpower.
Oh, I know we joked about that missed shot, but that was actually a really brutal miss, considering that if he would have hit that, Rita's gone, and there's no way he's getting res. It would have been a 3v2 situation. So, barely missing. That would actually have been a 3v3, would have evened things up here. So unfortunate for that. Let's see what kind of plays you're going to make. Now you can see Ida just slowly creeping up, pushing their back against the blue zone. And now with that snake play coming into here, one good nade could shut them down. Come on, bust out that AWM again. You got to do it. You got to hit that shot for your team and clutch things up. This is where that kind of play could really come in and make something happen.
Kamikaze taking some big hits. Emre, look at the reaction time, Jukes. He steps up, absolutely lays down the law. Spitting bullets, one by one they're being removed unless he can save it with the snipe. It's all over, and they're gonna run him down.
Didn't really do much except for Team Vitality, right? I mean, it was a non-game for them, and that opened things up. Let's take a look at the team comp and hear what they had to say.
Rahat oynayamaz. Bak bak. Çok güzel arkadan bir tane var. Bir kaldı. Araba sür. Bana vermesin. Ben sürüyorum. Gel beraber devam edelim gel. Sür araba sür. Nice oğlum. Nice.
Tempered celebration. They're happy, bro. They know. They've been there before, Jukes, and they're locking it down. Beautiful signs, though. It's the way as well. They actually stole so many Elim points off other teams amidst all that commotion in those fights, right? Anytime there's a third-party angle from distance, we're talking meters. They're hitting shots.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, this is what I was talking about in that last game, right? When you have such an insane clutch play, it exudes confidence in your entire squad. They believe in you as a player. They believe that it's a sign, right? It's meant to be for us to make it. And we saw that circle early on. I was like, hey, that's probably the best spot in the zone. They immediately were like, yeah, let's take that. And since they looted at Pachinki, and they took full advantage of it. What a clutch play right here. It's to catch up and be able to make it into the finals, and they're looking like they're making it happen.
Locked it down. Happy with themselves. And a pathway now. Went from being possibly impossible to now literally a reality, Dukes. They're right there.
Yeah. I mean, but this is what it took. This is what it took, right? This is why we were really casting so much doubt, right? Because it took like 2 back-to-back wins to even make it a chance. They just did it, and good for them that they did it in the first half of the day, right? I mean, there's still 3 more matches left to go. That's plenty of time to really lock things down, but it's going to be interesting to see, right, which team got knocked out of the top 5, right? That is going to be really wild to see, and unfortunately, on the other side of things, right, we didn't see Tianba were able to make it.
Yeah, Tianba. So many different narratives that we're looking at here and so much more to discuss. So stick with us when we get back into it.
Team Vitality is one of the best teams in club championship this year, but I don't feel any responsibility. I think we're happy that outside our game, we also can contribute to the team's Vitality point on the club championship. Winning the championship would mean a lot to me because we can give 1,000 points to Team Vitality.
AGL 的俱乐部的排名在不断上升，然后我们也是会有一点压力的，然后我们也是随着压力的变化，我们也改变了我们自己的打法。如果 EWC 我们 AGL 拿下总冠军的话，我是非常开心的，因为我们所有的项目在多项开花嘛，大家都是在拿冠军，为一个目标奋斗，然后我们也是非常开心吧。
За хэрвээ одоо Aurora Gaming Sub Championship-д одоо байр эздэд ч юм уу төрүүлэх юм бол одоо мэдээж манай багийн тодорхой хэмжээнд төв нэмрээ оруулсан болохоор мэдээж одоо маш бахархалтай байна гэж бодож байна.
As if there was any question if Ida was gonna show up, Max. They get that back-to-back chicken dinner. If I'm not mistaken, if the math is right, they jumped up to 5th place.
It's not chicken dinner anymore, it's a chicken buffet right now for Ida, having a great time. But especially for a team that was middle of the pack, back-to-back wins, right, was great because we saw at the start of Day 7, the point gap between the teams in the top 5 was quite significant, like 20 plus points. These wins, and especially that not going towards Vitality and such, is great because it just enables a possibility for these teams to initiate a comeback. Ida looking so confident because they know it's do or die. If they want to go to the finals right away, they need to show up, and they've done that massively on Day 2 of their group.
No, it's very true. I do enjoy what we're seeing from Ida, the back-to-back. I mean, it's the third back-to-back we've had in the group stage. We've had many coming on through here. Yeah, it's really nice to see, but, you know, it is a classic gameplay, classic strategy that we're seeing from a couple of different teams, Nongshim being one of those, right? Where they are going into the mid-circle, there we go, mid-circle, finding a compound, and then just staying there, staying put, being really, really nice to see that come on through. They wait, and then about phase 5 they start actually moving through and spreading out, trying to gain a little bit of control as well. So that's really nice to see from Ida, and I want to see it again.
It is nice to see one team that honestly a lot of teams got a chance to just push up the leaderboard here, especially for the middle of the pack. Godlike, they ended up being eliminated early on, right? We saw them start off hot at the beginning of the day. It has slowed down a little bit for this squad, especially considering they're currently in that contention for top 5. But it is a big opportunity. Lace, Matt Niptera, if you can just stop hogging the mic and pass it on. There you go. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, Lace, it's a big opportunity for some of these other squads to be able to jump up that leaderboard. One of them being none other than 721.
Honestly, it's been such a ride watching this team, and by that, I mean they are making micro adjustments mid-game. Still, though, getting a little caught out. I mean, and this is from the likes of, like, I gotta chuck in S2G there as well, because they're literally holding this front position against 721 on the north side. And they were at about like a three play apart, and it's just unfortunate 721 aren't sort of making these like I guess, made like minor adjustments to have that line of sight on them. And I mean, they're getting caught out by these massive split holds from these teams. But yeah, I've got to add S2G there into the mix because they are performing incredibly well.
I feel like you've been supporting 721 a lot today. Yesterday was Vitality. Can you support Nongshim Red Force? Just for no particular reason.
They don't need to be supported extra.
Good juju.
I'll take extra points for them. I don't care.
So
Can you just say, Lace, can you just say Hyunbin one time for us, please?
Hyunbin?
Okay, there you go. That's an extra 15 eliminations for Hyunbin today.
Guys, I have a reverse caster curse, by the way. Did you know that?
That's called a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it a reverse caster curse for everyone at home. But yeah, just PayPal me.
We'll hit you up.
You especially you, Max. Okay, we might find a good rhythm here, especially if you're able to curse a team, she'll uncurse them, and then you and I, Neptura, will try to curse them again. But for some of the other teams, a big surprise for me has to be Alpha 7. We kind of have to bring them back, right? For Alpha 7, we're expecting a bit of a jump up today of the likes of what 721 has been able to do, some of the other squads like Ida, but it hasn't been the case for Alpha 7.
No, it hasn't. They had a couple of really good spots, and then in this last game, the last couple of games, it really feels like they've fallen back down in terms of that momentum. They're not really building on anything, and we are looking now at the overall ranking because yeah, it is Ida. A7's not on the front page, and I think we know why, but Ida, hello.
Ida jumped up all the way to second place. That's what happens when you get a back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, a back-to-back will do that for you. So really good jump up from Ida. Generally a team that I thought would be middle of the pack. I was not expecting to be in here, the top 5, but they just shut us all up right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. The Lace blessing is real, apparently, right now, though, looking at this page. Yangon Galacticos, day 1 Niptro, showing some, like, sparks of aggression. I was really excited, but today, this team just fully disappeared, I would say.
Yeah, it's weird. I was really hoping for a lot more coming on through because, yeah, they've been so nice. They've not been playing passive. They've been trying to do a lot of things. They've been trying to control a lot of area, and it's just not really coming through. I don't know if that's because teams are, pushing that aggression a little bit more and they're getting caught out, or if it's more of just faltering in mentality.
Looking at this one, I'm sorry, I have to go down at this point. Tiamba, what is going on? They're so passive. This does not look like the Tiamba we saw play so well back in the Macau Invitational. They look like just a shadow of their past selves. So Tiamba, at
the
this
whole
point,
region, honestly, the whole Chinese region looks like that because they have not been performing well at all.
All gamers had like some good moments, but Tiamba, I would say, is the team that was expecting a lot of aggression, and I'm sorry to say I've been disappointed, especially by QZZ. He's not even taking any fights. They're so passive. There's still time to exit the bottom 3, but top 5 for Tiamba, not happening.
All right. Well, hey, I've been able to surprise you guys in the past, so I'm going to surprise... No, keep looking forward, sir. You're in class right now.
Okay.
Because I have a surprise for y'all that you get a chance to open up. Here you go, Max. Hold this for me.
Oh, gift. He's been so nice.
We're going to be opening them up. You guys are going to get some mummies. I get to keep the rest, so I'm not even going to try to open one up. But please, do me a favor. Open them up and see which one you guys are going to be getting. If you get the one, that'll be sick.
Oh, it rips. Wait.
Oh my god, it's okay. You're not gonna keep the box.
ASMR.
You're gonna keep what's inside. Oh, and there's also inside a package, so you're gonna have to do 2 unboxings for me.
Oh, I got a card. What do I have?
What do you think you're gonna be getting? No, don't look at the card right now. Just open the thing.
Okay, don't look at the card. I'm gonna be getting the blue one, the blue and the white.
Blue and the white?
I'm gonna get the blue one.
Oh, you did. That's actually pretty sick. Okay, Lace, what are you gonna get?
Okay, you ready? Are you ready?
Oh, squishy.
Yellow.
I got a classic mummy.
Nice.
I win.
Sick.
I win.
Those are sick. Okay.
Your one?
I like them. You know what?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Oh.
Doesn't matter who wins, who got the best one, because now I get to keep them all. Yeah!
Oh, Looty. Dude, we're halfway through. Day 2 of Group B. It's crazy. We got some teams in the bubble as well. TT Project, Dopeness, Tianba.
Yeah. I would love to step in one of these teams. Step in?
Look, dude, I don't know if you're good enough at this game.
Oh, no. I'm not speaking about playing. I'm so bad. I'm speaking like a motivational speech, like a coach.
Yeah, a motivation. Okay, that could work. Yeah.
How do you do?
Oh, how would I do it? I don't know. I would say something like, guys, we're in the bubble. We have to do something. But, you know, trust each other. We have to play our own game. Trust the IGL.
Oh, that's nice. That's calm. That's cool.
Yeah, man. I feel like I shouldn't ask this, but how would you do it?
I will do it the French way, like something like... Okay. Bon, maintenant, les gars, on va arrêter de faire de la merde. Hein. On va continuer à jouer plus correctement. On va faire attention à la zone. On va faire des kills et on va arrêter de se chier dessus.
Dude, you terrified the kids. What did you just say?
I just say something like, we're a big family. We got this, and let's win together.
I don't think I believe you.
Back to caster, guy. Game 4 now.
Say?
I said back to caster.
What did you say?
Game 4. It's now.
Hey, you know what? I don't think I believe him either. I don't think that's quite what he said, but my French is not quite good enough. We'll have to tune in with Max to see if that was real.
We will have to tune in with Matt. Unfortunately, he's laid dead out on a table at the moment, completely slammed out by a chicken leg from Evil 7, apparently. But we are getting in towards our fourth game of the day so far. Ida on a back-to-back, which was kind of amazing to watch and is making it quite difficult for some of the teams at the top. We thought it was kind of a secured top 5. Ida, however, battling their way in with fair ease on day 2.
It seems like they've found something, figured something out from that first day of games, moving into today. So they set it back over on the desk before they were knocked unconscious. They are now in second place, which is a huge jump up coming through from Ida. A Turkish team potentially going to represent in a direct qualification spot in towards those finals would be great. But now we have our final Erangel of the group stages. For Group B, this is their last chance to take a turn around the grassy pastures.
Some nice even points available here on Erangel as well. Teams want to make it happen. Unfortunately, today has been pretty rough in terms of play maps. A lot of ones down towards the south side of the map, making it a little bit more comfortable.
Oh, you had to do it to them.
We are going to get another, actually, from Lepovka down towards the northwest side of Millie Base, which is, again, I would say is a pretty awkward playing path. It is playable over towards the eastern side. Places like Yasnaya, Lepovka, Milta, Mini Milta, head down towards Milta itself. There's some splits available towards that western edge. But yeah, good luck getting over towards the likes of North George, Southern.
It would be quite a long journey. I mean, maybe grab some vehicles, swing out, but you're contesting the teams in Yaz for those vehicle drops and things like that, so it can get very, very dicey. Stalba, Kameshki, maybe a little bit more accessible. Yeah, okay. We'll take a look at who's going to drop out. Actually, kind of only Tianba heading up towards that north side, so potential for them to get to somewhere like Severny quite quickly on this plane path, but it's the teams that are still in the plane after it starts to cross the channel between these two, the mainland and that military island, that are going to be in with a bit of a dicey scenario, I think, Blank.
Yeah, Aura's out early, though, towards that northern edge. Godlike currently dropped out from that top 5 as well, so they're looking to claw their way back in. Now, they've had troubles on this type of drop spot before, but they said they fixed it, and I would say they absolutely have today. I think they're dropping a lot more cohesively going forward, which is making things much, much easier. For them, they're not losing players on the outside, and obviously that's played dividends over towards the first map of the day, where they looked really, really good. Over in Rondo, that's an unfortunate one. Over towards the northwest side, we're heading towards North George.
Hey, you know what? That North George circle does allow teams to invest more time in getting out to the drop spots in that location, right? So it's maybe, I don't... Blessing in disguise is quite a strong way of putting it, but I feel like it's definitely going to give a lot of teams an opportunity to go out to those locations, whereas circles anywhere else would have meant that you're still going to stay cramped on in. So we could see a little bit more of a disparate situation setup coming on through. Over in Rozhok, you've got 721 GS with Hustler Crew down underneath them on the south side, and Ida from Pachinki on the north edge looking to extend their influence towards Ruins.
It is interesting, 2 minutes into the game, we are already getting long drops coming through. Pretty wild. Schweppes will find themselves to finish on that one, but still. 2 players going down isn't ideal. Went for the old graveyard walk on that one. Pop the players in the vehicle, get a move on.
I suppose they're worried about retribution for that one coming through, so instead of committing the time to res inside the garage, you want to get onto a higher ground position and get away. TT Project will just lose one cleanly. Fantastic stuff. If you guys want to be looking clean as well, there's one very, very good way to do that. That is with Naruto skins that have been added to the game. Make sure that you're logging in, grabbing those skins, getting those unlocked, because the Ninetales Fury AUG looks mighty fine. I don't think there's one in the back of that van though, Ida. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get in game and go for those.
Okay, so these players already got it. Slonic takes a tumble. Sadly, this is over towards the western side of the map. I imagine he's probably hit over towards the top of a building and then fallen down, but Wolves were able to get over towards this position fairly quickly. If you cast your minds way back to yesterday, Wolves actually sent Necessary very quickly over towards the Finn, over towards the northwest side here of Georgia Pole, the game that Aura ended up winning versus Vitality. This is a pretty standard rotation for them, except this time the whole team's here.
It's a big benefit when you have all of your team alive. Generally, one of the better strategies in PUBG Mobile, have 4 players when the other team does not. Works out quite well. Arena, it looks like they did manage to get their reses coming on through, but instead of taking too much time to grab that healing, they have opted to move northward towards South George, the compounds to the west of Everest, to Hospital as well. Maybe they could patch themselves back together there. Ooh, a nice little pickup for the Wolves, and taking a player down from Hustler Crew, playing on as 3. In that South George crates area, the Wolves have a little bit more latitude now. And they didn't even lose a player fully. Their knock that was sent their way does get repaired.
Yeah, they'll have to keep on going. For Wolves, it is a really, really difficult approach over the next few days, over the next day, right? They have 36 points total. Likely they'll stay in this middle pack here, get themselves through towards the next stage of the tournament, but getting into the top 5, very, very difficult. 3 more maps to do it in. You're looking at 80 points. It would have to be the most unreal next 3 games. We start to count teams out right now. For 721 GS, I don't think I've seen enough out of this team. I genuinely think we are locking this down between S2G and Godlike, making it in. That feels more reasonable for me. I'd quite like to see Godlike retain that top side, but yeah, I would say those top 7 right now, I wouldn't mind any of those teams going through into the top 5. I think everyone's very interchangeable there. Maybe not Vitality, but everyone else, absolutely.
I feel like if I was going to take one team out of this top 5, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, I imagine, but I think it would be E-Arena. This is the team that did so well in that first match. They broke records, they smashed ceilings. But since then, it's just been lackluster. I mean, they only just surpassed doubling their scoreline from that one single match in their overall gameplay. I think it was a match or 2 ago that they were able to pass that. So I feel like if you're going to take a team out, it kind of has to be Arena, and I probably would replace them with Godlike in this scenario. I feel like S2G today has been a better team, but I think Godlike has had consistency across the 2 days in a way that has impressed me.
Well, Godlike's just been more consistent overall, right, in terms of the adaptations that have come through. I think that they are improving steadily, and surely I would agree with you that for E-Arena, that first map was amazing. It will go down in history books as one of the coolest rondos of all time. Unfortunately, haven't been able to live up to the hype other than that. And it is sad to see because they were on fire that game in Stadium. But yeah, I do think Godlike probably does deserve the spot a little bit more at this point. Unless E-Arena is able to pull some stuff out in the near future. They do have a very central position on this next circle though, so potentially this is the map to do it.
The difficulty though at the moment is that E-Arena, as we saw earlier, did not get a lot of loot on board early. They moved in towards South George at sort of quite raggedy loot. Hopefully they've been able to pick through some of these buildings, but they would have been under duress from the teams around them. We saw Wolves in there fairly early on. We saw Hustler Crew in there fairly early on. So in South George, I feel like they've had enough time now probably to be able to pick through those buildings and grab enough loot on board, add it to the coffers. But there is always going to be that question, are they going to be under-looted for this scenario?
Still plenty of loot around that area to grab though, right? They're down towards apartments. There's fair few buildings to pilfer there. I think a lot of teams realize that they're already ahead. I was surprised that Wolves didn't make a run further in, but maybe they also expected E-Arena to get here quicker than they did originally. So for the Wolves, they opted to sit out a little bit sooner down towards Hospital. Hustler Crew moved up and were quickly rebuffed as Godlike managed to make this long rotate underneath Yasnaya over towards North George. I think it's a good spot. This could equally head over towards the north side of the map very easily off the back of this one. Alpha 7 back to their stomping grounds. Yesterday looked fairly good. I mean, there was a good start for them. Unfortunately, the capability of transferring that same prowess we saw in the first 3 games, not really there going forward. Again, Alpha 7, for them, it is a little bit scary. They're on the cusp, 37 points down towards 26. That could switch up, but they have a fair few teams as a buffer.
They do, but they've also got a track record of getting eliminated at the group stage at global tournaments, you know, so that's gonna weigh heavily on the mind as this circle is, and that is beautiful for Alpha 7. Up in North George, they were right at the edge of the pack. They're thinking, oh, maybe we can scamper across this bridge, but no, they can hold strong now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, for Godlike, actually, North George wasn't bad. This could easily head towards the northern side, which it does here. And you can see that Alpha 7 do have the center dot right now. They're over towards the western side of North George. Tiamba, you got Eagle, taking a couple of shots through, trying to ward off any players around them. But yeah, this is going to get very hot very quickly. There's a huge amount of water still involved. Can't really see it because of all the players littering over towards Everest. But this is lilting Northern.
It does seem to be. I mean, about 50% of the circle is on the north side of the river, and it's going to be teams moving across it. TT Project heading to the water. A lot of conflict now around those bridge crossings. I think it was Dopeness trying to go across. Some conflict between 721 and Wolves. Wolves have swung all the way out east side, despite being in South George so much earlier on, losing Baton, but they are across now, and one of the few teams to make it through over onto that northern edge. The rest of the bridges much more treacherous.
I mean, Wolves actually getting through here with 3 players, pretty miraculous, honestly. You're passing through Box Compound as well as Watchtower. That's a lot of capability taking your entire team down. I think a lot more teams are going to struggle to make that crossing and probably will take more casualties than just that. Now, E-Arena, are they going to go for the bridge? That's the question, John.
I think it is a pretty big question. At the moment, it feels like they're trying to hold the bridge to stop teams from the south moving on through, but that is then a trade-off in terms of the time you could maybe spend navigating that bridge yourself or trying to open up an option on that northern side. Being trapped on the bridge, though, is the worst-case scenario. You do not want to be locked in there. A team comes in behind you. You find that it's impossible to move through on the northern side. There's always the water rotate as well as an option, if it comes to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they've got two teams breathing down their necks in Nongshim as well as Vitality. Two very scary teams, I would say, to go up against here for E-Arena, and they're trying to hold both of them out right now. I think that you can have a good idea that these teams are coming from the south side. So again, E-Arena, like you say, trying to cut out as much of this southern portion of the map as possible for themselves, but a difficult task, a very, very difficult task.
Ooh, Etch crashing onto the northern throws of TT Project, and that leaves TT Project on one player alive. 30 points, remember, on the cards for TT Project, which means they are very much in danger of dropping into the danger zone of 14th to 16th at the moment, and with only one player, they are looking pretty shaky. The only saving grace for them is that there is another team behind them who have also lost quite a few players. Dopeness playing on us too, but they are much safer in towards the middle of it. Oh, that's a lot of water, Blank.
That's really unenjoyable. There is a world where this goes back south towards the bridge. There is a world where that happens. I think it's much more likely that we end up in North George, but it's very rare that you get these circles towards the mid portion of the game with both North and South George in play. This is a scary one, very, very scary one. Many, many teams looking for refuge in North George right now. Everyone trying to kick their feet up, but many noisy neighbors.
Looking at Ida and Vitality, as you said, Nongshim as well. Well, we're looking at Nongshim now on the south side, trying to make a punch through. E-Arena took a knock over towards Joker, but that is isolated and nobody from Nongshim stands beneath them to be able to get that flush. Vitality trying to navigate the area now to the southwest side of it, but the urban environment is littered with danger as XZY steps up for more, sprays down out the window, but doesn't quite get the full kahuna going there. And now is under a huge amount of threat. Nongshim Red Force get obliterated.
I mean, for Nongshim, down to XZY, and then shortly after exiting the lobby, 80 points here opens up things for Godlike, S2G. The Arena, I felt like they were the ones doing most of the holding. It actually turns out to be Vitality, taking shots over towards Nongshim Red Force, getting most of that damage in. But again, that is the benefit of being front of the pack here, front of the queue for E-Arena. Schweppes is going to take high ground, though, looking over towards Vitality, who didn't lose all their players. They're still as a four-man. Now, can E-Arena hold out versus this squad? Struggled to do it in the past. A similar circle like this.
That's a very tricky team to hold out as well. The Ray duo coming in, looking to beam them down whenever they can. It is a nasty opponent to come into contact with. We were reminded by some of the people behind the scenes that Schweppes is technically the only player here who could get a triple title from PMWC. There is an opportunity on the cards for E-Arena to be able to make history on that front, as he was able to win 2 of them, I believe, with Vampire in some of the earlier days of the tournament. So he's looking to try and bring that power to 2026.
Unfortunately, it's been one game. They had one good game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not looking massively hopeful so far. Again, this is one of those games where they could strike out a 15-pointer, see themselves much safer going into map 5 and 6 over on Miramar. But goodness me, urban finishes, never fun. We're going to get our next circle real shortly. S2G finally breaking in to the circle on that eastern side. Our observers do find the map eventually.
This is nice. This is going to transition into a full map shot. There we go. Beautiful. I could see it in their minds. They set that up. That was pretty.
It did. It actually did.
This is a bridge circle. So what do you do here? I mean, E-Arena don't need to move right now. Sure, you might want to get central, but you can get onto the bridge later. You can just sit there and ruin the day for, well, actually, to be fair, very difficult to ruin Vitality's day right now. They're chilling. But for Ida, this is nasty.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. John, this is not just a bridge circle. I don't think you can announce it like that. This is an insane circle that teams are going to hate. We're going to be playing underneath the bridge for a long, long time. E-Arena's position became all the more important down towards the south side, but goodness me, this is getting treacherous. Like, where does it go next? He's going to have to hard shift back over towards that northern side, if anything, but it could come back down towards the south. Actually a wild, insane position to be on for all of our squads. Godlike loses 1. Vitality looking to move in. Beautiful bouncer.
Up the staircase, nades now from Vitality, looking to keep the pressure up for E-Arena. They've already taken a knock in this location before. Ida want to get stuck in. A third-party hero could be big. I think that's what came through just there. Darkin able to land the shots over towards Federalis, but Razak is in the building, looks to pop that smoke, keep them in a bit of cover there. The res comes through, Schweppes, oh no, has to move for the Molotov, and the burn is able to take down Joker. Schweppes may be next for it as the nade goes boom, right by his ear, and a drop down from the top will be sealing the deal. Schweppes falls in the arena, now on 2 players.
The nades so far from Vitality have been just disgusting. Like, that's actually criminal. The airburst on the top side, you do not see players hit those very often with such pinpoint precision. Can you imagine the Razy's providing a lot of that information back towards his team? You've got to ignore the minimap here. He's in and out in the water. He's watching from the hilltop that is sitting over towards that western side. Really, really incredible stuff. Ida did rock up as well. The rest of E-Arena playing underneath that bridge now, but wow, what a breach by Vitality.
I imagine that there are going to be plenty of people putting on their swimming goggles for this final circle, Blank. A lot of remnants. The saving grace of this circle, if there is one, is the fact that the majority of the buildings in North George are still in. It's going to mean that the next circle is particularly brutal, but there is a lot of area to contain all of these players, whereas in an open zone, that might not be the case. At the moment, Etch, they pushed in from that northwest side. S2G looking to follow in behind on that northwest edge as everybody's crowded around those apartment buildings.
Aura trying to get rid of Edge over on that western edge. Alpha 7 a little bit further in. Again, good opportunity here for Alpha 7 to try and solidify that position on the middle side of the tables. I think they realize they're not going to hit that top 5 today, but what they can do is ensure they don't drop into the bottom 3. Send home Tiamba, Edge, Hustler Crew, all the ones to go out now. See the Alpha 7 fans currently watching with bated breath here. This is sort of home ground, honestly.
That North George drop. Alpha 7, Godlike, both have been here for a very, very long time in North George. Now the neighbors are noisy. Make sure to keep them under control. Try and find a little sense of decorum in the zone. Tiamba protecting their patch, and there we go. But it's like still so much water in this one, Blank. That whole stretch of bridge. And the south side fight between Vitality and Ida is gonna need to pop off, and that is how you want to start it. Vitality open with a knock over towards Rita, their forward position. That's gonna draw the backlines from Ida forwards because they don't have a lot of time either before this zone starts closing. Less than 30 seconds to get him back up, to get in a position to jet across that bridge, or indeed jet underneath it.
Yeah, Razy is just a good spot here. That's gonna massively slow down Ida, like you say. It's a hard position to be in going forward. The Vitality, how do they want to make this cross that? I think TT Project not really in a position to hold them out on the other side of the bridge. A lot of teams likely not looking that way, trying not to expose themselves, but Vitality still have to make their way in. Where do they crash onto? Are they going to send it first? Looks like they're setting up the smoke train. I don't think they're banking on every single player making it, but right now everyone's on full HP. This is a very efficient cross from them.
They made it through the first break. E-Arena are underneath the bridge, so they do not have a say on this, making it to the middle spot. This is a good hold position against Ida. I think that they're wise to not try and send it all the way across because they just don't probably have enough information to know where is open on that northern side. It's just not possible for them to have scouted it. So just sitting up here, holding that south edge, they can start to slowly go forwards on that bridge in a future instance, and Ida, they're just going to have to go into the water and try and swim it.
Yeah, Ida going to send that over towards the eastern side here. Vitality probably sees this, but can't quite make the angles happen here because they are trying to avoid the shots coming through from the northern side, from the buildings, from the windows, in apartments. Tony K dropping down from E-Arena, trying to get some shots himself, providing that information back towards the rest of the team. See Hustler Crew here, also Loco trying to work his way in. Final player there from TT Project did go down, 30 points as well. So TT Project in the danger zone. Dopeness tied up with Tiamba, who found 3 elims this match.
Yeah, on that east side, Tiamba actually have a pretty good spot on it. Mortman and Tony K both able to get the angles. Tony K steps up onto the cliffs. He's not out of the zone just yet, but has a little bit more time to play with it. Stage 5, he's full HP, he's got some stims going as well. He can hold here for quite a while and make Ida's life really tricky. Rita goes down. Emre next up on the chopping block. There's the spray and there's the connect. E-Arena doing bits to stay up in the top 5 and take down one of their closest competitors in the run.
Some incredible shots coming through from E-Arena. I mean, Tony K hitting those was nasty. There's a possibility to kind of like eke against this as well. Pull a weapon for a very short amount of time there, you can see. Just try and spam your screen and get the shot off. But you see here, S2G also are looking this way from underneath. Next circle though, where will it go? Will Vitality get thrown a bone here? Will we head out towards the bridge? Have one of the most unbelievable groups of all time over 2 days.
Vitality with the double drop down. They're down into the water here. I mean, they know they're probably not getting across the bridge, so I guess it makes sense. Drawing fire from teams like S2G across the way. See if that's going to pay out for them. They may just stymie everything on the south edge. In the meantime, Godlike trying to hold as much ground as they can. Tiamba behind them. Yangon Galacticos with a little entry there as a duo in one of the puzzle pieces. And the remnants of Plenty team who has fallen before them. Now everyone trying to make their patch in North George.
Aura still, decent spot. Vitality tried to use the vehicles to get good information on where these players were at before attempting to make their move forward, but it's got to be some snaking swims to the coastline. Razak's going to take a quick breather in the meantime. S2G also along the way. Lost, peeks out for a little bit too long. An overzealous nade maybe, but does get quite the distance over towards GS.
Gets pretty close, but yeah, not quite the full distance. Yangon Galacticos with 2 against 3 from Godlike as we tune back into the puzzle pieces. Godlike now committing to this fight, trying to push past Yangon Galacticos, get away from Tiamba. Smile, Molotov out the door, does manage to burn them back, but doesn't quite tag too much damage. Takes a nade to his feet, but does stay alive, stays standing, can start to heal, and out the window Romeo falls. Over the balcony, and Godlike might try and follow him.
Vitality taking a lot of hefty damage here coming through from GS. Unlikely that that's going to continue any further. Yangon Galacticos, defending champions, currently set to go through to the next stage. But not with glory, not straight to the finals. They'll have to play another stage here prior. Alpha 7 look to regroup. They're just going to daisy chain over towards the rest of the squad. Quiz now as well as Revo.
The main threat for Alpha 7 right now is Horror on their position. Everybody else from the south side is down the cliff or in the water right now. So in terms of danger to Alpha 7, that northern edge is much more important to keep an eye on, but you do still need to be worried about teams trying to sneak their way up, like S2G from their position, to move in and maybe get a cheeky little shot, make a little opening, and try and force their way into the fight in a much more favorable position. I'm surprised that the teams over on the south side in the water have survived for as long as they did. They are mightily tested right now. You can see, I mean, Mormon is right close to them. They're trying to get their weapons out here, get a shot off, maintain that pillar position, maybe find a shot, maybe find it, Tony K, maybe, no. Can't quite get up high enough. As Federalis, he's on top of Mormon. He's just about getting the DPS up, but it's not happening.
Just holding him under though, trying to stop him from getting the breathe off. Making it difficult. Federalis dipping back down again, but yeah, for Vitality, E-Arena and Ida, this is a tough experience to be in. You see right now S2G trying to see if they can get themselves further up, to peek over towards where Alpha 7's currently playing, but they are having a struggle bus of it. It looks like it's still happening as well.
The circle shifts out west blank. It keeps Alpha 7 in, but that eastern cabal of players, Godlike, Yangon Galacticos, the duo, Tiamba as well, that's all going to have to force west now. And I think it's going to get messy. For Godlike, I feel like it may be the best opportunity for them to just go as far forward as they can, as fast as possible, to try and escape the pressure that may find its way further east. But Yangon Galacticos want to try and get ahead of it too. They are just immediately sending straight on in.
You may as well try and get further into this. Again, this is sort of undecided though, because you have the western apartments and the eastern apartments on this one. It is marred by this massive road that goes in between. Crossing that's going to be a bit difficult. We are on that coin toss type of a circle now as well, where teams on that northern side likely will have to move. Question is, how well can Alpha 7 hold them out? Because there's a lot of teams moving in tandem. Tiamba setting up the smokes now to try and get across towards where Godlike are currently playing as a 3-man. I like this though from them. They're going to try and take the fight closer to Tiamba. Be prepared for this maneuver.
Elementrix gets mollied by a teammate off in the distance as they combat with Horror and Etch in the meantime. Godlike, they push back out, as you said, Blank. Now, against 4 players from Tiamba. Tiamba needing a little bit more dynamism than we've seen from them so far in these group stages. Let's see if they've got that in the pocket. Milu with a nade on close, first to step forwards, doesn't get contested on the angle, and now has to back off, but immediately stepped out by Spower and will be able to take it down. Eagle tries to fly around the corner, but it's not working out. Godlike hold well for the first volley.
Great initial knock there from Spower into a second. Will take the knock on himself just to ensure that Godlike can go forward. It's heroic play here from Spower to ensure that they get the 5 elims. They're 1 off from cresting back into the top 5.
But hey, Blank, they pay the price. Spower, sure, he was able to keep them in this one with some beautiful peaks, but the off angles there, they punished him. It meant that now Godlike has only 2 players to play with, but with 5 elims, they've still got a little chance of getting across here. A lot of teams now getting forced into unfavorable positions, and Etch have to take the top floor against the Wolves on the north side. Horror are going to have to move as well, Blank. 40 seconds to get out of their building and across a road and into no man's land.
Revo taking a knock here is kind of bad news for Alpha 7, because this is exactly the time that they want to be on a swivel right now. They want to be that moving turret as teams attempt to make their crossings. How many smokes do these players have remaining? Etch as well as Wolves know they need to get rid of one another first before they make that cross. As S2G slowly shimmer their way down the coast.
Playing on those cliff sides. There's still players swimming out in the water, but they are going to be so close now to the teams on the coastline. Etch trying to drop down into the Wolves, but they are ready for them. Teeth are bared and snapping at the heels as Etch try and make their way on through. With only 2 players, though, it's being made difficult. Another bounce on the nade there for Elementrix, just causing them to worry. On the north side, Horror still yet to leave their building. Another knock sent their way. A self-nade from Sleepy, and they are going to get flushed away. Grease out from Alpha 7. Nasa from Etch. Everybody stepping into the fight, back into the blue, and they fall down. But Wolves, similarly, will take that tumble too.
Vitality out, as was still in actually with the Arena on the backside. They just lost 1 more player. The final one up is on very low HP, can no longer afford to go under. Guizhou now back up, and remember, Revo was knocked, but they get it back up on his feet. He's still before we head into the last 2 Miramars. MG3 in the hands of 1. Nuth underneath. Nade goes long. Revo on the sidelines. Carrillo starts to move up. Looks over towards Salme, who's making a heroic attempt for the Godlike team.
1v4 would be necessary, but he's in the blue zone and he's going down, and there is nothing he can do about it. Alpha 7 though, find the chicken dinner. They find what they were looking for. They move in with a pretty hefty scoreline too. And the drums, the horns, lights up the arena.
Really, really good stuff here coming through from Alpha 7. Happy to see it from this squad. Back to basics here in North George. Get themselves a chicken dinner. It's very unlikely now they drop down towards the bottom 3. They're in a set position going forward. And Revo giving the thumbs up. Honestly, good stuff from them.
Absolutely beautiful to see. They may be in with an outside chance of top 5, but I think Godlike were able to do enough to get into the top 5 there. And it is such a quick moving goalpost to try and score in towards the top 5 that I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. A heroic effort for Eden to be able to make it in that late in the game, Blank, as well. For E-Arena, that was late in the game from that south side. A diabolical circle for them to try and navigate.
Yeah, for everyone. I mean, so far Group B has been really cruel. From the southern playing maps to the circles we've been given, I don't think really anyone has been given an easy EWC here for any squad at PMWC. But for Alpha 7, great game, really, really good game. Revo was on point this map in a big, big way. I think he was finding a lot of shots here and there. Yes, he got knocked, but as soon as he got back up on his feet, he was identifying those angles where the threats would be coming from.
It's exactly what you need to be able to do there. To keep your wits about you in that North George position. They were the turrets on the swivel in their buildings, keeping control of the ground around them. Really, really nice stuff. No one really could contest them there. It was pretty unfortunate. On that north side of the road, it just was not possible to make it across. So for Horror to be able to be the last ones alive in that scenario, that was a good result for them, and you talked about their consistency.
Yeah, well, for Horror still, again, they move all the way from Yaz, all the way over towards North George. They managed to play a really tough circle. As soon as that pulls away from those apartments on that northern side, yet you are pretty much out. There's not much you can do about it. Alpha 7 pick a spot that was center dot for a long, long time, ends up being the best position to play from. Not to say it's always easy to find every single pick-off you need, because you're assaulted on all sides there. You need to be very cerebral in your approach. But yeah, Bora, super consistent. I have no doubt they're going to do very well into the finals.
I don't either. I think that I'm looking forward to it. And there were some really interesting CQC moments in that game as well, Blank, with, I think, a notable example being that S-Power push out from Godlike to move back out of the zone to take the fight to Tiamba. I think you were calling it at the time, you said you liked it. It did end up going well for them. Yeah. It was just unfortunate that there were so many off angles.
I think for S-Power there, it's a really, really good call from him, where he understands that this is a difficult circle, a circle they are unlikely to win on. So in that moment, he's like, boys, I am just going to push out here. I'm going to play the off angle that they'll never expect. And Tiamba absolutely did not. And for that, S-Power was able to pick himself up a couple of knocks there, which ensured they won that engagement and allowed Salme then to get very, very far into the game. So although he goes down, there's a very, very tactical approach from him, because he understands, right? This is not a case of, oh man, he got unlucky, or oh man, S-Power didn't know that angle was there. He absolutely did. Like, that's why I called it heroic. It was very big self-sacrifice from him.
Excellent stuff to close down that game. Our final Erangel is done. We're going to head down to the stage with Kalaris to catch up with what the players are thinking.
All right, thank you. There's a lot of energy in the arena right now, and thank you very much, Alpha 7, for just calming down just a second. We've got some interviews. We've got Dark in here from Ida to talk about their back-to-back wins so far, and that is actually my question about it. Back-to-back wins, Darkin looking amazing in the clutch versus E-Arena. After what happened yesterday regarding their results, did they think that they were going to be able to perform this well, and was there any changes from day to day?
Arka arkaya 2 tane win aldınız. Bunun için öncelikle tebrik ediyoruz. E-Arena'ya karşı çok büyük bir clutch kazandın. Dünkü sonuçlardan sonra bugün değiştirdiğiniz herhangi bir şey var mıydı?
Hayır, hiçbir şekilde değişiklik yapmadık. Stratejimiz hiçbir şekilde değişmedi. Sadece mikro hataları daha aza indirdik. O kadar. Teşekkürler.
Actually, we didn't change anything. We always play our own game. We just adapted to our small mistakes that we did.
All right, and I guess finally, are you going to be able to continue this on, get top 5? It's looking really good for Ida right now. What are your thoughts regarding that?
Ya şu an Ida için çok iyi görünüyor. Top 5 içindesiniz. Bu şekilde devam edecek mi sizce? Top 5 olarak kapatabilecek misiniz?
Umarım öyle olur. Büyük konuşmak yanlış olur şimdi. Teşekkürler.
I don't want to talk big, but yeah, I hope so.
All right, well, thank you very much, Darkin, here for joining us. I do also have Revo after that victory. Come on, guys, give us a little bit. I had to. How are you feeling right now, Revo?
Well, we are feeling good. I think like we did a bad day, but I know it happens. Like we are trying to do step by step, brick by brick. So we are doing like trying to recover ourselves, and we're gonna try to do our best in these last 2 matches.
Crazy circle there over on Georgiapol, of course. How are you guys feeling about it? Obviously, in an urban ending like that, it gets very difficult, but then the circle centers on the bridge for some of that. Was that causing you guys some concerns internally? What were you thinking?
I think like gave us much confidence, and like God said to us, okay, I will give that save and win that match to like stay alive. So now we're gonna do our best to win the last 2 matches.
All right, thank you very much. Actually, no. Do you have anything to say to your fans, Revo?
Amo todo mundo, hein? Tamo junto.
All right, give it up. We're headed on back. That's all for 7.
Okay, guys, I clearly won that first game of basketball, but now we have a second game to play with 7-7. The reaction game is here. Anything you want to say before you start?
I'm gonna vitality him.
I haven't even played yet, but okay, I guess go for it. Okay, I'm checking it out. Drop a Federalis right now. Okay, 5 seconds, get ready. It's coming up. What? Why am I like this? I do animation. Come on. Oh, you're terrible. Oh, you got one. Okay, one. Hey, don't throw that at me. Focus on your game. Oh, no. Okay, Lace. Come on, another one. Oh, they're playing with you. They're playing with your mind. Come on, I'm going to disrupt you. Come on. Hey, there you go. Come on, 2 more. Yeah, I mean, this one's easy. That doesn't count. Yes. I forgot how many you got.
We're gonna set it up, and he's gonna do it. And you guys gonna let us know how many I ended up catching, because I lost count.
Yeah, same.
We'll be right back. Okay, we forgot how many I was able to catch, but now, Max, it's your turn.
Put me into it.
Yes, we're going straight in.
Oh, I'm gonna
Come on. First one, you're gonna catch it. You're gonna miss it. Hey! 1. Ooh, that was close. That was really close. Those you cannot see. Honestly, I don't. 2. Let's go, baby. Oh, that was close. That was close. That was close. That was close. Oh no! You gotta be ready. You gotta watch out with that one. 2. Come on now. No.
My eyes. I was cross-eyed.
Sir, I think I beat you once again.
1v1 in PUBG Mobile. I win that one.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. I can vitality you there too.
I can authorize you there.
Ooh.
Esports World Cup up.
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
I've been waiting for this moment for the past 4 days. Do Brazil! Finally, they end up getting a win here with the crazy rotation that they ended up doing in Neptura, because they didn't have to do a damn rotation. It's exactly
That's what I was going to say. What rotation?
I can't wait to go back and see your face. Just like, what is he talking about? You gotta let me cook, Max. You got to let me cook. But yeah, for that squad, this is exactly what they were needing.
Oh, it's so nice. It's a breath of fresh air coming on through for a 7, because now they're like, oh, Yes, was it handed to us? A little bit, but...
A lot.
A lot, okay, fine. But now they're like, okay, we have a win under our belts. We have a decent amount of eliminations. I think they like 9 or 10 eliminations there. So now they're going, okay, now moving forward into the Miramars, we have a win behind us. We're not struggling so much anymore. We've got those eliminations. We can do it. Let's go in and get another win.
We. There you go, 18 points on the board. Of course, as you said, right, they're going to be dropping there. That is their main drop location. Actually, the reason why they won PMGC last year was because they got love circles around the northern side of George Pole. They know how to play it. They know that place like the back of their hand. But Godlike, 14 points right now. I got a replay later on, but Godlike, I was not expecting them in the northern George Pole in a circle like this to do that well. For a team that has never played globally, they're getting these insane circles, man. I kind of feel bad for Godlike, man. The circles just are not making it easy.
I don't feel bad at all because they're showing up to when they are being challenged.
Sure.
And I think that is just such a great trait to have. And this is before we even came to Group B. I was hoping that Godlike will be able to showcase the skills that they have, not only just in fragging, but their tactical skills. And we're getting a chance to see all of that laced with Godlike, just them being able to rise up whenever they actually need to.
I mean, this is not unusual for them. They read this zone incredibly well and are able to cement themselves into it. We saw it on yesterday when they did like such a wide rotation just to get themselves into it. And with these crazy circles, guys, I've never seen a bridge pull like that before. Like, I really have not. And so for them to be able to capitalize on that, especially with all the chaos happening on that northern side of the zone, is awesome from Godlike.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Alpha 7 finally smacking S2G. That battle is going to be heated when we go to the clips on Instagram because those two squads have been talking so much smack to each other. But if we actually look at the top damage dealers and the eliminations, it's actually pretty even out for those top 3 teams. Alpha 7, 8, Godlike 8 as well, and S2G 6.
Yeah, I mean, really looking at it, Alpha 7, Godlike, really well done. I think the highlight team from this game is S2G.
Yep.
Like, they've really put so much on display. Last game, right, in that field finish, we did see a little bit earlier today versus Ida. And now in this game, the final wrangle here for Group B. What a great northern rotation, entering the city, seeing the city. Oh, it's a little bit too busy over there. Then going for the cliff side when it's still on the bridge, Niptura, and then just kind of number one, fishing out teams. HamCG was just farming E-Arena. There was Ida. There was Vitality, just getting point after point. Really good execution. And then afterwards, when they clear all the teams out in the water, they actually just use that cliffside as leverage to try and get a little bit of an angle on the teams in the city. It doesn't end up being a win, but for me, S2G was the most impressive team in this game by a pretty long shot.
I know you were looking especially at something that happened during that match between Godlike and Tiamba.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were some great smokes from Tiamba, by the way. You can see on the right side of your screen, the smoke's really good to make it cross building to building in case there's an off angle. But look at Some, not moving an inch. Tiamba sending it forward like, okay, they all have to be in the other building, in the other apartment complex. But Some cooking up that grenade, waiting for them to go for the cross. The grenade's good damage onto Eagle. And now they're like, we're kind of stuck. We have to come into the play. And instantly, Tiamba fully disorganized. The communication not there. And they get swarmed and destroyed by all of Godlike. What a play. What a trap setup. Godlike coming out swinging here on that last wrangle.
Coming out hot too, wanting to make it to the top 5, making it 2 Indian teams in the finals if that does end up happening. Spower has had an amazing, and I mean an amazing 2 days. Not only does this man have great hair lace, he's also being able to put up that eliminations with 2.1.
Yeah, well, look, I want to say they've been having a fantastic 2 days. Manya yesterday, Admiano yesterday, now it's Spower today, which I like that this team can like sort of swap those roles and those cohesion, especially when they're coming into this sort of stakes and this, I guess, this late into our group stages. I mean, this is incredible from this team, and it can definitely tell they're going to deserve a top spot.
I wouldn't be surprised if when he goes back to India, he's going to have a new hair product just sponsoring him because it's just...
Luscious.
Don't say anything. Don't.
What did you just try to do, Max?
I'm very jealous of his hair.
Nothing.
What did you just... Hey, the hair is coming back for Max Mouse. We're going to be taking a look here at the overall ranking. Vitality, honestly, I'm just going to skip you at the moment because you're just so far ahead. Nobody's going to be able to reach you. Godlike Esports does end up moving up to 2nd place. E-Arena, I want you to keep in mind, though, how close it is between all these top 7 teams. If we end up removing Team Vitality, Godlike at 89, S2G at 77. It can be changing in just one match, and we have 2 matches left, Noctura.
Oh my god. I mean, Nongshim out of the top 5 as well. I mean, they need these Miramars now to really come in clutch because they are so close. They're just 4 points out of the top 5, but they've been going down. It's been a downward trajectory for them. S2G pulling up really close behind them as well. It's now or never.
Yeah, talking about Nongshim Red Force playing too passive. That game early in the fields didn't push EDAV very passive because I think they just wanted to remain in top 5, but the teams, they're chasing you down. Though on the second page, bottom 3, you got 2 more games, 2 Miramars to make it count. If it plays out like yesterday, only Vitality is going to get points there, so yeah, be careful.
If Vitality gets the points, that means that it's going to be even more compact, and it might end up coming down, more than likely, it is going to end up coming down to that final match in Miramar. But before we head into the first Miramar here of Day 2, Group B at PMWC at EWC 26, Jukes, Kalaris, I'm not going to say a pep talk, but are we going to be maybe smacking them again?
It's crazy here! It's crazy here! What's going on? You can't even hear me! It is so loud here. Jukes, I can't believe these fans are all here rooting for Horror in a big way.
I think we found the Aura fans here, right here, locked and loaded, baby! Because right now, they're in the top 5!
We're going to stay in top 5 here at the moment. You can barely hear us as everything's going on, but these fans are going rapid for Horror. I think they're going to stay in top 5 here. What do you think?
I think so too. What do you think about it, guys? Are they going to get top 5? Let's go!
Oh my goodness me, how excited are those players, the fans, well, hopefully the players too, but the fans are going to inject that power into our players, hopefully, to be able to take to the last 2 maps on the menu for Group B. 2 rounds of Miramar left for our teams to make their bid for the top spots to try and escape that death zone at the bottom of the tables.
We do have to send home 3 teams today. We don't have any choice in the matter. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. See exactly who those teams are as we head through to match 6 at the end of this. But first of all, we're going to get through match number 5. 2 Miramars coming up. Alpha 7, known for these in the past. Revo's convinced they're winning both. I'm not as convinced, but I would be very happy to see it. Another massively southern playing path.
Wow.
For Miramar, this is actually disgustingly bad. It's really going to test teams' backup drops, how they want to navigate out of these zones into drop spots that are worth it, or however they'll have to go for some trash spots. In the meantime, yeah, this is definitely tough. It's been a tough couple of days, and I really do mean it. There's been some terrible circles, some terrible playing paths. It's all been horrid.
Some really nasty stuff coming through. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit kinder to some of our teams, but right now I think I'm seeing Alpha 7 and Horror both on this western road. Potential for hot drops there to come on through for 2 of our pretty importantly placed teams when it comes to those tables, so a contest for the vehicles. We'll have to wait and see if they do go for it, and they are dropping very close to one another, Blank. That is nasty out on the west side. Keeping an eye on hot drops. You've also got that Viademar situation. I think that's Etch and I believe Hustler Crew. No, hang on a minute. It's Yangon Galacticos. They are getting stuck straight in, and already Etch have managed to draw first blood against Saycloud.
Saycloud goes down. Yangon Galacticos struggling here, 9th place. But should have done enough. Still 2 more games though for everything to change. Marnet tries to get a cheeky peek off here. Down to Smile, Romeo as well, still up here kicking with the rest of the squad. Circle goes over towards the western side. Alpha 7 should have fun time over towards El Pozo off the back of this one. Wolves in Monte Nuevo. The Horror are getting stuck in alongside with them. Curious to see how they handle this, because they cannot have that many bits of weaponry just yet.
I mean, there is something in the hands. I mean, we were looking at this very early on, that both teams dropping out over that western road, trying to grab those vehicles. Looks like, I think this is the right decision to try and get away from this. The danger is that they know that Alpha 7 are going to have some weapons on side. So, the step out. Are you going to be able to connect it? No, no fear. Able to get the backup angle from Horror. And that section of the crowd, Kalaris and Jukes were spurring them on. And now they want a little bit more. They are circling back around. They want to try and seal the deal to finish the job that No Fear started, and they will be able to do it. Revo now on the corner at death's door, and it will be flung open, smash in the face.
I am sorry, but they should not be falling for that. That is absolutely the freest bait Horror's ever had to go for in their entire lives. I'm pretty sure Revo was like, probably shouldn't peek. They'll have another angle. But again, it got the better of them. They should not have peeked that as a two-man. They didn't have the angles. There's full broadside over on that wall. If another player has already set up early, which Horror had done, you have to expect these teams will be going for these plays at such a level of PUBG Mobile here. Yeah, it's a strange one from Alpha 7. I was actually about to be really, really kind and say, wow, really love the patience from Noof as well as Revo there. They decide not to peek because they know that Horror's got an off angle available. And then all of a sudden, it all went wrong.
Yeah, it's not too good. But the good news is that they're going to win the game, right? Right, Revo? Right? Oh, maybe not. Ugh. Much more difficult now. 2 players on the western road, but the circle is out on that west side as well, so a potential for them to get fairly deep into the match and maybe look to more solidify their position in towards this middle pack, which, yeah, I feel like it's already kind of been done with the 55 points that they've earned. The bubble currently sitting at around 30. It would need a 25-point gain from our bubble to surpass them, which would be pretty miraculous, I think, for all of the teams beneath them to be able to do that. But yeah, they would like to be a little bit better, a little bit higher on those tables if they can make it happen. But now they are just too far from 5th. We are going to be trimming the herd of teams looking to make it in. S2G and Nongshim Red Force just behind that bar.
There's a team that does love Miramar. It is S2G. Now, they have been fairly lucky before on it. Okay, we go for the PM. Love to see it. Absolutely panned on. Oh, dear. A bit of revenge coming through for Horror. But yeah, for S2G, they do love this map. They've had some luck on it before. This time around, I don't think we can call this luck at all. They're sat in El Azahar. They have to move across. But if there's any time for the Turkish squad to do it, these right now. To be able to send 2 Turkish squads through would be a very, very cool thing to see for the region. And they're not far off.
Okay, Romeo lying in wait, quiet as a mouse, but strikes like a viper as they step up the stairs, a little bit too bold for it, but still in danger. Romeo drops down, Smile goes down the stairs, out wide. Fajita can't quite connect on the shots, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the angle. Smile still with it, more to do, but he strafes across and can't quite get that spray transfer to connect. And it will be the end for Yangon Galacticos in the penultimate Miramar. Going down on 55 points though, Blank, they're very, very likely to be going to the survival stage here.
Yeah, this matters way more for Edge, honestly. Getting 4 elims there is great news. They also didn't lose a singular player. Everyone knows that you really don't want to be losing players too early here on Miramar. It does make a lot of your rotations much, much harder. Some of those holdouts a lot harder as these compounds can get quite large over on Miramar, but we are heading back over towards those crater fields. Some of those more open areas of the map. We have a lot of dead ground over towards that western side. We're cutting in over towards the mountaintops.
Vitality with a little bit of a road ahead of them, but they spent some time to take down the truck. They will be profiting from the loot inside. A really nice pickup for them. Obviously, the addition of those, a massive early game speed up on your looting phase. You do want to be getting on the road nice and quickly. Godlike, they're a little bit closer to the circle, the west point of Los Leones right now. Going for the ghost roll down the hill as he turns the engine on and finally hits the gas. Sends them forwards, careening towards the northern area, just north of Chumacera, to get on into this next circle. The center of it around Monte Nuevo is starting to get quite packed in now.
Yeah, the crossroads are going to be a pretty big feature in the future. I mean, E-Arena's already trying to set up early over towards that high ground, but Emre is set up there early on. Might have to dip and head towards the rest of the team at some point, though, because E-Arena might just flow through. For the time being, though, it's not a massively priority position, so Emre might just get the chance to sit up here for quite a while, play Lighthouse, and scout out these teams coming through on a full 360.
Chumacera is probably the most awkward area of the map right now, and a lot of teams are coming through from there because we had that southern playing path at the start of this match on Miramar. So you have those foothills you're having to navigate through into Monte Nuevo. So we have 1, 2, 3 around Cruz de Valle. That's Nongshim, Edge, as well as TT Project. And then as we head further over towards Monte Nuevo on that south side, we've got GS, we have Hustler Crew, we've got Godlike, we've got half of Wolves, we've got Dopeness too. So this is a very, very packed area of the map for a lot of teams. And even Vitality's coming through from Los Leones now to cover that area.
Ooh, Etch lost a player there. We were talking about how important it was that they were able to get the 4 elims to try and jump up out of the bottom 3. But they tried to move someone scouting that northwest edge, and TT Project were able to clip that and send one to the point bank. And they are in direct contest for those spots as well. It's not where you want to be seeing your points going. If you have to go down, you'd prefer it not to be a team in contest for one of those qualification spots to the survival stage. Next circle displaying itself with a hard south shift. That area that you were talking about being so jam-packed now sits right in the middle of the whole circle.
Yeah, around Ladriera as well. So pretty awkward. There's a bit of high ground over towards the east and the western side. But Ladriera is kind of this dead valley, right? And it's not central either. So going for some of those compounds that sit underneath the ridge side, not ideal at this stage of the game, but some teams might be forced into them just as stop-off points. Pretty much just hostels for them to work off the backup before they make their hike towards the center of the circle. But a hard one, definitely a very hard one, because you still have those foothills down towards the south side too. Vitality is just making their way over towards them now. Godlike playing around some of the compounds in Minas del Valle.
Oh no, Kamikaze calling for support there. Someone help me. Someone turn me back over, and there he goes, Hamzy, with the assistance, and Kamikaze able to get back on the road again for another journey forwards into an area close to the center of the circle, moving in from the east side. Godlike were able to get one of the high ground areas around Chumacera, but Vitality are now looking to try and share that from across the way. So our top 2 teams, in fact, right now, Blank, could potentially come into conflict over this area.
Yeah, we say top 2 teams. I mean, Godlike's done fantastic over the last 2 days. They really, really have. But right now, Vitality is just incomparable to any squad. I mean, 142 points. I think they are closing in on the century in terms of elims over 2 days, by the way, just to make that very clear, which is wild. Very, very wild. Wolves coming against Ida. Emre did pull off from that high ground on that north side. Arenas flowing through some very, very open ground, but still not a position that a lot of players want to be in. We're heading over towards gas stations right now, but that roadside, get a little further in towards the high ground, quite like Godlike's position down towards Chumacera. They're trying to center up on some of these lovely bits that they can get. Some great sightlines looking down towards teams, but is it likely to end up in Chumacera proper? I don't know at this stage of the game. It's very, very hard to tell.
Vitality trying to move on through, and they're taking the fight to Speed, who lobs a nade down in, but doesn't really connect on much. Razak is going to be forced away from the stair push by a Molotov to slow things down, allow Etch to marshal their response, to get into position to respond to this Vitality aggression. Trying to peek out the window, Speed has the confidence of his teammate up the hill to cover up this angle, allowing him to play on the windowsill. Tries to find the lineup down the alley, down the hallway there, but it's not going to connect, and instead it's turned around on him, and now Etch have to get off that high ground too.
It's just disgustingly fast. I mean, Federales is so quick on the uptake. The reaction speeds on this guy is insane. I mean, shown even yesterday with the inhuman flicks we were watching, kind of popularized from PEL region as well. So again, very, very cool stuff coming through from Federales. But overall, these guys are changing the game. They are changing the game. It is hard that you cannot be playing sloppy versus them, because they will punish every single mistake that you do make. Godlike again, slow roll. Love to see it. These guys are cheeky. They are very, very cheeky. S-Power getting a lot of information in through this.
Getting some scouting done. Feathering the clutch. Trying to look as stylish as possible. Spend the minimum amount of effort to get the maximum reward. There's plenty of rewards available in-game right now, Blank, of course, with our Naruto partnership. You can check that out in the game. Make sure that you're jumping in whilst it's still all available during the event and draw for the Naruto character set for the Fury AUG. It's looking pretty. It's got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, the Ninetales Fury AUG looks awesome. Really does. So is the Sage skin for Naruto.
Oh yeah.
Want to pick that one up?
Uh-oh.
Vitality do lose Razak. Federalis underneath. Might need to start dropping some more smokes, but they're up against Godlike now. Didn't really let up too much. Godlike want to push on towards Federalis though. Difficult player to go up against, but instantaneous response coming through from Axel. Razak was re-knocked instantly.
Now Vitality.
Salme will find Federalis there.
Ooh.
Axel on a bare slim amount of HP. Razy just trusting in him.
Oh, what a close down there. The third party for the off angle for Godlike, and they are ending their first of 2 Miramars here on 90 points. It is not ideal, but they are still in second place for the time being. And the fact that the points go to Vitality, you're kind of okay with that, right? You just don't want them to go to anyone else. Vitality is just this bottomless pit of points that you can throw things away into and forget about them. They have, I believe, as you've just pointed out to me, crossed the century on Eland alone. 101, taking the rest of the lobby to school.
Man, 101 eliminations over 2 days, and those 2 days are not yet finished. A 50 elim per day average is just crazy. It is unheard of. Elementrix moves in. Neos will take him out, though. TT Project certainly suffering towards the center. We're going to have next circle coming in soon. Monte Nuevo currently held by Ida right now. It does head back down towards the southeast side. Pretty barren landscape there. A lot of rocky outcrops, a couple of deflays to play around with. Tiamba down in 14th. It's not a massive jump up they need, but so far Tiamba has been a little bit lackluster on the gunfights.
They do have a pretty good position in this circle, so hopefully they can get value for it. TT Project, though, in this fight, looking to try and trade blows with them at the moment. They're out of danger, but they are so close to it. They are on the precipice, so a win on the fight with Wolves would be great news to try and give them a little bit of runway in this circle. Around the corner now, drops a nade out. Lots of damage pouring on out from the end of that SK-12, and it is just too much for them. Maybe the nerves are getting to them, and he's charging down the stairs, looking for the last player. A final nail to slam into the lid of the coffin for TT Project. Give an opening for the teams behind them, but he turns tail up the stairs, and Neos lives on.
Neos does a great job. I mean, Baton really did come out swinging. Not quite finish it off there. Got the sound cue and kind of spooked him on both the pimples. On the nades, Nongshim Red Force moves up over towards Aura. South side of Monte Nuevo. Good shots, though. Very, very good shots. Coming out from both teams. XZY down, as is Sky. But Hyunbin taking a fair bit of damage from off angles. Forced to drop a smoke here.
No fear, moving forwards already with that first knock. Hitting the deck, going for the crouch, rolling forwards, but does finally get shut down on his approach. It was so close to going pear-shaped there, but he kept his nerve. And now Horror with the one player alive, Nongshim Red Force. Looking to keep themselves under control. Tizzy wants the reses, but Sleepy's out in the blue zone. A fair distance away from this fight. No real chance to get these confirms, to get these flushes, and most likely to get his teammates back. Not to mention, Nongshim Red Force know exactly where this guy is.
Yeah, they're good to go. I mean, Sleepy's not making his way in anytime soon, so easy on the side of Nongshim Red Force. Should be able to pick him back up again, but it's a case of moving across this road. And in the meanwhile, Alpha 7 creeping up behind them. This is an aggressive play coming through from them. Carrillo leading that charge on side. So easy. Will finish off No Fear. Where do both these teams go? Alpha 7 on the low ground. Tizzy with the Mini 14. That's dangerous.
Can't ignore it. or do so at your peril. Ida with a nice central position to try and protect the area, but not only that, their 5th place bubble position in the direct qualification spots. They can leverage a lot of influence over this part of the zone on the western side. And Tiamba, as we highlighted earlier, on that east edge, looking to do the same and get out of 14th place and into the survival stages. One of the only PEL teams, well, the only PEL team with the chance to try and go there.
Excited to see it happen, but again, tough. Very, very tough right now. They still have a little ways to go. Shots raining round. The drums start again inside the arena as we hit the 17-minute mark here. The circle heads over towards the northeast side. S2G, once again, I mean, these boys, they're good at Miramar, and they're also good at qualifying last minute on Miramar too. They currently hold both sides. There's a bit of a greedy split they've got going on, but they also have a lot of vision. They've got a lot of range in this area. Yes, it is greedy, but until they start seeing teams trying to push over towards these points, understanding that the north side is most likely the clearest area of the map, depending on the playing path, they should be okay. Remember, they swung in from El Azahar. This was a long journey for them.
Long road indeed. Hustler Clue finding one from 721 GS. On that south edge in the meantime, Vitality are behind them in the queue. They did lose Federalis earlier, obviously. 5 eliminations already, fine. You'll take that. That's pretty chill. And around that south edge, they'll try and roll through. Hustler Crew right now, probably one of the softest targets for them to try and take on the fight with, but Alpha 7, far from done. And I look for the spray down. Not quite connecting underneath there, but spots him trying to get away from the vehicle. It was going up in flames, and Carrillo secures another point for Alpha 7 to get them one step closer to safety. Hyunbin tries to go for the hop around the edge, but it's going to be shut down. This is the influence that I wanted to see Ida executing on this western side.
Ida's had a fairly safe game as well, so they should have decent utility, decent supplies on board. Razy's got his something on. That's scary. And Vitality, they're looking to push straight over towards Hustler Crew's position. Kamikaze will find Tizzy too. Again, good stuff from S2G, maintaining control of the map on that northern side. Hustler Crew will find Razak. Axel goes down as well, but Razy's still kicking, still making those shots happen. Following the vehicle down, the sideline shots as well. He knows he has to finish up quick.
There is that off-angle potential, as you said there, Blank. Needs to hit the heel, though. The nades are going to start to roll on in, sidestep it, but he doesn't manage it. And it goes boom, and Vitality are out, eliminated with 6 elims, so it's still a really good game for them, and they are totally chill, they are totally fine. In the meantime, though, Hustler Crew fighting for their life. Vinny on a separate fight as Vitality rock up into the other side of his team. Drops a nade out the window, looks for the flush, looks for the knock, but it's not going to come through. Nasser, the last to stand for Etch on the bubble, opens the door, doesn't step through it though, and Vinny tries again, has still got ammo in the back, and will be able to shut it down. Etch now down on the bubble.
Goodness me, Edge, like you say, out 13th. Tiamba, I half expected them to have a lot more influence here. I think they just don't want to lose this compound. They like how they're playing off the back of it. Didn't want to even try and send a 2-2 split down there. They know they could probably deal with these teams as they come in later. Dopeness did make their way up from that south side. Vinny could not help with Vitality. He was having his own small battle on the other side of the map.
Dealing with his own demons. And now Vinny has the whole of Tiamba look at his way, as well as Dopeness out on the western side, but he's into the vehicle, trying to make his way through, and it's not going to go well. Milu picks that one up. Tiamba able to eliminate another team, but they have to leave their compound now. They can't commit to staying there any longer. The zone goes to the center.
I'm very curious to see how S2G plays this now, because they have 2 spots they can work with. They got the gas station on the northern side of the road. That's likely to come out a little bit sooner. But both areas quite difficult to play from, actually, on this. I think they might wrap back down.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is good from Tiamba. I like that rollout. It's what I was thinking they needed to try to do to progress. And the fact that S2G didn't have a full hold on it, they read that nicely, and they do regroup, as you said.
Yeah, they're going to play the roadside. I think I was trying to consider which one you wanted to go on towards, because playing across the road is hard. So they do get an anchor center. This is really nice from S2G, actually. Kamikaze just has to live here. I think he has a fairly safe spot to do it, and I think that's a shack towards the center of the circle. So they can play off the back of this ridge side, but they need to support their anchor here in Kamikaze. That's where most of the gunfire needs to be going towards. They know that Tiamba's on their east, so they can keep an eye on that the entire time. But for Tiamba, this is an all-important game. Same goes for S2G, though, trying to get towards the finals.
Lufa does manage to get across somehow. The volley of fire not quite potent enough from Ida to take them down. The smokes are dropping as well, and they can get on the road. Hopping in, not going to go for the hill, not going to commit the time to it. Alpha 7 in the meantime, you do still need to step forward too. Getting suppressed by Ida all the while, and again, Dopeness somehow managed to slither around the sight lines that Ida are laying down.
Yeah, but they're slithering straight back into the blue here. This is not ideal. Southern Edge now, GS in front of them, vehicles burning. Barrel in play, will shred them as they try and come down the hill, and they're fully silhouetted again against the hillside. S2G might have angles. E-Arena playing it very, very safe over towards the northwest. They know that they're realistically just looking for more placements. Guizao will rock up though alongside with Carrillo, has the MG3. This is a big moment now for Alpha 7 as a two-man.
Tony K with a nade in hand, could connect, could do devastating damage to Alpha 7 as Dopeness descends from the hilltops as well. Tiamba are chiming in on the off angle. Nobody is escaping the bloodshed here. 721 GS will go low, will go down onto just one player. Malik survives it. In the meantime, Alpha 7 were able to get a slice of that warehouse on the northwestern side. Both of them staying alive, and E-Arena will be drawn down to 2 players alive as well. With the placement points guaranteed for Tiamba, they will be out of the danger zone at the end of this game as well.
Great stuff for Tiamba, honestly. They're being really cautious about it though, right? They're trying not to get too aggressive onto these engagements, try and siphon points where they can. Sadly, it's not been a lot of points at all that they've been able to siphon off. Tiamba only with the 2 eliminations on this game, despite being involved in quite a lot of engagement so far. E-Arena had a tough time. By the time that Alpha 7 moved up, they needed to start laying down smokes on Joker as well as Schweppes' side to enable them to cross to help Tony K deal with Alpha 7. That initial nade had to be strong. Now for S2G, that anchor looks mighty good towards the center here in Kamikaze. He's kept things silent, and S2G, again, they play a very, very good Miramar here.
It's their chance to jump up in towards the top 5. The annoying thing for them is, though, Blank, E-Arena and Ida are both still alive. Ida with all 4, E-Arena on 2. They're hoping that Alpha 7 are going to win this fight on this northwestern side. Maybe not so directly, but I think it would be in their best interest if it did happen that way. Alpha 7 with their back to the zone, guarding out E-Arena as they launch a nade forwards to slow them down.
Good initial nade. Chips away at the damage. Schweppes has one of his own, sends it out, only a little bit of damage. He's going to commit to the second one. Joker doesn't take any damage from that whatsoever. Guizao gets backed off. Molotovs go through, stopping Carrillo from peeking too far out here, or in fact retreating back. So now in a 1v1, good shots from Joker. Guizao, all up to him, will go down. Sadly in 6th place, but still a good attempt from Alpha 7 on the 2-man they had.
Did a lot of work against E-Arena, made it hard, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. Tiamba now moving forwards from the southeast side. S2G want to challenge, but a nice little roll down. The smokes are starting to bloom. A lot of invested utility here, but the chokehold from S2G is potent, and the spray down connects with Milo on the back line. Lost looking to lay it down too. The nade doesn't quite go the distance from QZ, and it does not connect, so Tiamba playing on his 3, still looking to push over the top of that bubble position on the bottom of the tables.
Ida sweeps over towards the arena as they try to make their way in here. But for Ida, it feels like a pretty easy cleanup should things start to go a little wrong here for S2G. I do like that S2G gave Kamikaze basically all the bells and whistles as he moved in towards there, almost 400 ammo. They wanted him to be on a swivel the entire time, 4 nades as well, just in case people rocked up on this shack towards him. Good shots from QZ to start things off over towards GS. Once again, another circle shift here. I do think that S2G has played this game very damn well. It's just a question how well they can deal with Ida in the near future, and can they manage Tiamba on this eastern side without having to invest too much into it.
Really difficult spot. QZ is burning there, down behind the tree. I think the healing is already coming through though, so will be okay for the time being. Hasn't come through yet. Maybe a little bit lacking on that front. As the nades continue to push forwards, Emre trying to make a break. You can see the smoke dropped out. 721 GS still a factor here on the north side for Tiamba. It is just about in nade range and they're taking damage. There it goes over the front bonnet, just keeping them safe, but there's a follow-up. There is still more pouring on down. That looks good. It's on target. They dash away, dart back in. They are back and forth, and S2G have taken casualties. Emre with a big nade over towards S2G on the center point. In the shack, they lose 2.
Again, this is all about managing things, right? Is why I thought Ida would be a big problem in the near future. For Tiamba, an opportunity opens up here. S2G, they scatter to the wind. They look to try to bolster position alongside Wahamzi G now. But another nade goes in. Solke being very careful, looks to drop the smokes. These are long grenades to head on over, not quite reaching. Rita extremely low, but in his last moments will send a nade in. But the junkyard of vehicles making a nice safe position to play. Emre is down. Rita's going to try and send some Molotovs over the top, make it uncomfortable, make it hot over there for S2G.
Tiamba are wasting so much time here, Blank. Sure, they find Lost on that off angle, and that is a great pickup for them, but it's taken them so long. They could have moved forwards, tried to dynamically take that position, sideswipe, and third party S2G on the shack. They can do so now as it has unfolded for them, but I feel like they could have done it a little bit earlier. I want more dynamism from them, but they are still doing well here.
I mean, Tiamba, they still got to deal with GS, right? And pushing down there almost might have been a death sentence for them. They've only got a few grenades left. Still nades sending out over towards Rita right now. He might be able to hit the God nade through the window, potentially. He will send it. Lands on top. But yeah, GS is a big problem. I don't think Tiamba had a lot of nades though. They didn't even have a lot of ammo either. They've been playing this game quiet. But the amount of side steps they've done on these nades has been quite miraculous. We've seen some acrobatics coming through from Tiamba so far. Rita moves up. Nade should do the trick though.
Takes him down. Another team scratched off the card. S2G with a chance to jump up into top 5 off of this game as well. Blank with a chicken dinner. QZ spotted, and 721 GS are making themselves such a nuisance on the flank. Eagle finally able to do one, find the other as well. Potential for the res, but there's not a lot of time. The zone is already closing. I don't think you can commit to this one. It may just be a raw 2v2, and you know where both of them are. They're both inside. How do you navigate this? Eagle sending in.
Moving up towards the tree side here, S2G getting ready for the double peek off the back of it. Nade over the top now, coming through from Aking. He moves up, that might do the trick. Bounces into the window, it's a lovely burst on it. Hamzi G last left alive. This nade has to be immaculate coming through from S2G.
A chance, Aking on the back of the tree, gets pushed out wide, and there's the pick. Hamzi now in a 1 versus 1 for S2G to jump up to the top 5. A direct qualification spot is up for grabs. Tiamba looking to solidify themselves into the survival stage. It is a high-stakes 1v1, Blank.
Eagle playing off a tiny little bit of a ridge side here. Gets a little bit of open ground. He's going for the res, baiting Eagle in. Hamzi G has a tiny angle to work with. He's looking for the flush, looking for the finish. Eagle moves up to the plate with a DPS. The blue pushes Hamzi G now, John.
He has to leave, he has to step out wide, but he can't do it. S2G fall at the final hurdle, and Tiamba take them to the cleaners.
Tiamba, a much-needed win right in the last moments here of Group E. Fantastic stuff for them. A tough win, barely anything to work with. I think you were on the money though. There were some moments where Tiamba was a little bit slow, but you can understand their hesitation. Throughout the entirety of these 2 days, they have been on the back foot, but it must feel very, very good right now to finally get a win underneath their belt. For S2G though, we expected this, right? We called it early on. S2G is a team that does well on these type of maps, but missing out on those points from the eliminations and the extra 4 for the chicken dinner, that might hurt them from getting into top 5 because it's very flexible between the top 7 at the moment.
Yeah, it was very, very close towards the top side of the tables. There were teams that had gone down earlier that ended up on 90 points. I think at some point S2G were 11 points behind a little bit earlier on with the elims that they've earned. They are going to be right in and amongst it, Blank. It is going to be a crucial final map moving forwards. Tiamba, I think with that match though, have accelerated themselves far enough away from that bubble to not be worried moving into this final mirror mark.
Yeah, will require some miracles to change things up, but for Tiamba, that is a much needed win at the very best time for it to happen. So again, I think there's probably people around the world that are very pleased with that result. Fans of Tiamba, super relieved maybe, more than happy. But yeah, for S2G, missing out on the chicken dinner there is tough. It's definitely tough. I think that was a good opportunity. But they played that game well. I think they played that game very, very well. There was a lot to manage there. Ida is a tough team to go up against. We know that this squad is a never say never type of deal. So yeah, I think for Ida, this is a tough team for S2G to come across in those final moments.
Absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of power to be scared of in this lobby. Godlike, one of those teams in that bubble fight right now. They are towards the lower end of it on that 90-point tiebreaker. And I think that tiebreakers are important to mention as well, Blank, because S2G did